Minerva Podcast, episode 30 on the 30th. It's close enough. Leave me alone.
Yay!
I'm not turning
Almost.
30, so it doesn't go all the way.
Eventually, we'll have to be sure to record that podcast. On
Honestly,
30th.
with the podcast being for me like a day before my birthday, it's basically I feel like I'm gonna have two birthdays because we're gonna have today's show, which only happens once a week, so you have to round birthdays a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow, which is an actual birthday, where that's gonna be a big day tomorrow. I see it coming. Day tomorrow. Because but tomorrow we have a Fortnite update, which I'm sure all of you care about. And then
totally.
oh yeah, big deal that is super interesting to you. And then we have my birthday, so that'll be fun.
Did you tag the Beast fans?
Just a second, okay?
I'm just asking if you did.
I'm mad at you now because you
Trying
even
to
suggested
help.
that.
You didn't.
All right.
Steam Summer Sale's here.
All right.
I
Chat's
just logged
working.
on to
Let's
Steam
see.
to shop for birthday presents in the middle of a podcast, which is probably a better time to do that. But...
Oh, show's starting? It's just like while I'm doing the intro, he's like, I guess I have a second. Just starts doing a bunch of shit in the background.
It's like, I'm going to go get some groceries.
Right back?
I'm gonna do that one time. I'm gonna do it on my phone. Be like, yeah, and just walk around the grocery store doing the podcast. Hell yeah, we're doing this vlog style. Deal with it.
And someone walks up to you, hey, can I help you with anything? Shut up, I'm recording. I can see it working.
You guys will realize how short I am when I'm just totally comfortable asking complete strangers to get things off the shelf for me. So my sister came to visit last summer, and when I'd go places with her, I was constantly embarrassing her because she's really shy. She's like really shy, and I'm really not shy. And so like at the grocery store, like my favorite chips are like the $2 only like white corn tortilla chips. Like every store has them. It like has $2 written on it real big.
Those are great.
And they're always on the top shelf. So as soon as I walk down the chip aisle, I start scanning for people that can help me. Like if they're halfway down the aisle, I'm like, yoo-hoo, hi. And then I like point at my chips. Can you help me?
You should just bring a stool with you. Or whatever. Step up. What are those called?
And my sister's always like, oh my God.
A stepping stool?
Yeah. Yeah, stepping stool. Oh, yeah, okay.
No, this is what tall people are for.
Yeah. I thought of
makes sense,
stools, and it was like the thing you flip over for four gay guys to share one, but I couldn't remember if that's what you used for the small ones.
Oh my God.
I couldn't keep a straight face. Singing Chriselle looks so disappointed.
That's what he's
We are.
actually doing
We
when
are.
he goes on Pokemon raids and can't be here, guys.
Oh, yeah?
That's what he's actually doing. He's not brave enough to take the real thing yet, so he just shares a stool with three other guys.
Easy.
I'm just saying he's not brave enough yet.
Yeah,
okay?
Donna, keep it tame, okay?
It's too far.
I don't know. I've slowly been devolving to, like, not filtering all the things I have to say, and it's maybe not the best idea, but I just can't help myself sometimes. I don't know. I always make these weird connections, but then, like, so many of the avenues I want to pursue are not appropriate on the internet. I just can't help myself. That was 4 minutes
quick,
into the show.
real-
Mom's gonna be so
real
disappointed.
quick.
What?
I'm gonna directly address it so that I don't get a paragraph in the chat every now and then.
All right.
Blev,
Oh, God.
be patient. If people ignore you about the Mythic Storm King,
You know what?
just fucking wait.
We could tackle this. So he's talking about an issue.
I have told people time and time again not to go into that chat and be dicks to people asking for a carry. Okay? That's why they're saying that they cannot tell you no, because they've been told not to tell people no.
It's not even they. It's one guy. But it's...
Multiple people
is
that
it?
I've told
Okay.
not to tell people no, though.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. So I'm interested in this concept because this is a conversation we've been having enough in the streams to where I feel like talking about how our Discord works is not a bad topic to touch on. And that's the idea that, like, the community where you can speak to a lot of people and enter a help chat and tag a help role and get help on a thing, it's not meant to just be that easy. You gotta talk to people and tag them and try to communicate with the other people and get things going. And I saw that you did that, but then I also saw that there are other things that are like unwritten rules that you got to follow when you're trying to get help with anybody and anything. In real life, this applies to, I feel like, because he's trying to get help with the Mythic Storm King. That's a thing. There's a channel for that in our server. There's a role for that. There are people who are happy to help. He wants to do it tomorrow. Today's not the day to be asking. I know you want to plan in advance, but that's just not viable with strangers on the internet. You come back tomorrow. Ask on that.
It's not a drive-through oil change. It's people. You gotta
Somebody
talk.
offered to help him, and this is why I'm even bringing this up. Somebody offered to help, and he was like, he himself, the guy asking for help in chat that Sig just talked about, Blev, said to the other guy that he should wait until tomorrow. So I'm like, you're receiving the help that you're claiming you're not getting, and then you yourself are telling them to wait until tomorrow. Why are we talking about it now? Why are you in my comments? Why are you in my streams? Why are you calling me saying I'm ignoring you when I'm clearly not? I've gone out of my way to help you, actually. And come on, and so I'm only bringing this up again because
the other part of it.
I'm only
That's the
bringing
other
this up
part of
again
it is
because
you obviously haven't ignored him.
because a lot of people do this, and it's, I don't know, in a chat room where I am watching people team up, getting the fight done for hours and hours, to have somebody even claim that they could be getting ignored, just got to me. It got to
Sometimes the messages move fast, but I don't think that's really anyone ignoring anyone. It's just people are active in the community and talking.
Yeah.
So
it's just one of those things, and that's sometimes in real life as well. This is great job advice, by the way. Sometimes you just gotta get your foot in the door. Like, you gotta
I feel like that is the case with most jobs.
tag somebody on Discord, grab someone's shoulder, get their attention, move it along.
Mhm.
That's all, though. Grab their shoulder.
Don't be
Just the
annoying,
attention.
but-
Yeah, don't be annoying. Don't be rude. This is
Hold
not
them at
an attack.
gunpoint. Demand a job. At
Yeah, hold them at
gunpoint. That's how you
gunpoint. Tie them up a little bit. Duct tape is great. You can get it by the bundle. Just kidding.
Make sure
Do you have a
you-
size reference for maybe your hoodies? Oh. Well, as you can see on the chair, it is that
it'll
big.
fit a chair.
I don't have a size reference. How do we do this? So I'm not sure what I am with the sizes on the website. I'm 13. Well, what would a 13 youth be? Well, I'd have to know how big a 13-year-old is. That could range by
Probably
a
an
lot.
adult small.
I don't know any
Adult small?
13-year-olds.
First off, are you female or are you male? Because that does change with 13-year-olds. And are you a skinny or are you not skinny?
What's your height and weight? Basic,
Yeah.
measurements
What's
here.
your height and weight, honestly?
Pertinent question. Can
Like, I know it sounds kind of rude, be like, oh, how big are you? But these are things we need to know. Because when I think of a 13-year-old, I think of my family. We're either short and skinny or tall and skinny. So a 13-year-old in my family would wear an adult small or even a children's large.
When
I'm
I was
skinny?
13, I was this size.
When I'm skinny, and when I say skinny, I mean that he sent a crossbones emote. So, adult small sounds good to me. Maybe adult
Yeah.
medium, so you can grow into
Probably.
it. Baggy hoodies are always the best.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll
If
drop
he's a
that.
Well, the
skinny,
hoodie, you
skinny,
kinda-
an adult small
Yeah.
will fit him.
With a hoodie,
way-
you kind of want something a little
Alright,
baggy
that's enough
most
of
times.
chair.
Anyway, don't most people?
So adult medium. Yeah, get an adult medium. It might be big on you, but hoodies are supposed
It'll
to be
last
that
longer.
All right, I'm just gonna drop the chair command in chat in case anybody wants him to come back. My brother's 12 and he wears like an adult medium. Yeah, I think baggy hoodies are always better. And as I said, I wasn't just saying that. Grow into it. Like maybe an adult medium.
I wore
might be...
adult small when I was 13 and it was huge on me. Oh, for reference.
Oh,
this sweater.
stream
Hold on,
couldn't
let me
see
put it
that.
on.
Cat was just off camera.
Let me put this sweater on real quick.
Oh,
Discord saw it. You got to see him jump up onto the bed and everything. Nice little cat in action. Like there's not enough footage of that online.
I mean, the problem is there's never enough.
Right, cat's on the
Caught my
internet.
hair.
Mhm.
This sweater, this hoodie, fits me nice, right?
Oh, of
It's
course,
nice,
it's a chicken hoodie.
right? It's adorable.
Did not see that one coming.
It's
It's even got, oh, you can't really see. It's got spines.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
So this super cute hoodie, that's, I've got some space in it. This is a children's extra large. I got it from Target to match with Clark. Clark's got a small.
Why is
So
it? Oh, there you're done.
it's all, it's all
Why is it
relative.
called the Minerva Podcast? See, that is a complicated. Not really. Well, I mean, you'd have to just explain why we call ourselves
For
Minerva.
one, it's a podcast.
Okay, yeah, that might be why the podcast part is there. What about the Minerva part? What is that? Yeah, we've been branding Minerva pretty hard at this point. Do we even own that? Do I need to own it? Is that like a
Yeah.
public domain kind of name nowadays?
You should probably,
Yeah.
Who owns that?
probably register it.
I have
Quick,
no
do it.
idea.
It's a name. You can name yourself whatever you want to name yourself.
Yeah.
Right, but like I couldn't sell Google hoodies, you know what I mean? But like Minerva's kind
That's
of
a company. Minerva isn't a company name.
yeah, Minerva's like
an
a
actual word.
really old Roman adaptation of a Greek goddess. That's got to be in the public domain by now. You know what I mean? Like anybody could
Depends on
put
how you're registering it.
anybody could put like chair on their hoodie. Like nobody owns that. It's just a word. Not unique
mean,
enough? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Mr. Steph Rosadino. I like it.
I mean,
Rosa
yeah,
Dino, I
there's
suppose.
a video game named Minerva. There's a board game named Minerva.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck was that?
We own the Minerva.gg web domain, so that's got to be some kind of
It counts for something.
Wait,
Count,
isn't
you
that
know.
just the can I join Minerva and then just goes no?
like I think Minerva's too
no,
much
not
of a
anymore.
name. Like anybody can put Andrew on their shirt, and like you can't trademark that. It's a name.
The coalition of Andrews
too.
disagree with you.
King too.
Can't
Watch me
enforce-
try.
Nope, that's what
You,
those
you
guys.
can't enforce that, but you can trademark it. You can try.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't like some company get the word sky trademarked somehow?
Well,
Sky
so
TV,
when you
yeah.
trademark, it depends on how you're using it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Sky
So
TV
I
disagrees. Yeah,
remember-
no, Choo Choo just went right into it.
I remember a
They-
couple
they
years
trademarked
ago,
the
the
usage of the word
Fine
sky.
Bros were trying to do the.
Okay.
They were trying to trademark the React type genre of video, and that didn't turn out very well.
No, they got fought
Yeah.
hard. I mean,
Trademark
so
the
did Sky.
genre.
I think
Yeah.
so.
They
or
tried
like,
to trademark an entire
yeah.
genre. That turned out real good.
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
even
they
know how you
they
do that.
wanted to put a trademark on sitting around
reacting
watching
to
other people do things
yes.
and laughing at them or crying
That was-
about them or being mad.
Yeah, that was like the biggest story ever for like 3 months.
That's
When
so dumb.
yeah, it was really dumb.
Surprised she isn't
And
a
then they had
planet.
this very sad apology.
I
Call me that.
I actually learned. So that planet X that's been kind of rumored to have like a 15,000 year orbit, the next name in line for a planet is Minerva. So that's kind of cool, huh?
there
I
we
mean,
go.
That's something.
And some SEO there.
Dig seems like genuinely like attempted interest. Like he's really trying to look like he cares.
Oh wait, can I ask?
No,
you
I said, oh,
What?
That's what I mean.
Sig,
Oh,
how's your back feeling?
Oh yeah. How is your back?
I'm
doing?
electrocuting myself currently. So it's fine.
currently.
Iron,
Does
how
it
your lungs?
Dead.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh.
No, I mean I'm going to work tomorrow, so I'm assuming it's fine.
Yeah, you've been doing fine
No,
for like.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I've had back problems since I was a teenager, since I was like 14 or whatever. And I've been in a few car accidents and stuff. I've had lots of injuries that added to the problem I have.
Right.
But recently, this whole jumping down out of the truck being the straw
Yeah.
that broke the
Catalyst.
proverbial
Yeah.
camel's back. It's the worst it's been ever. And I don't know if I'm gonna recover. I don't know if I'm gonna end up having to have surgery or something. Who knows?
Mhm.
But as it stands right now, I've been doing the stretching that I can do, trying to stay somewhat active, because I know that just sitting in one place all day is probably bad for me.
Well, I suppose if you're trying to be
Um,
active, it'd be as you stand right now.
What?
It was a dumb pun. Anyway, what were you saying, Sig?
But the problem with my job is that it's a job where I'm on my feet on a concrete floor constantly. you
yeah.
know, and I'm also somewhat like your back just somewhat bent. It's
Yeah.
way worse than standing upright.
You're
know?
leaning over a
and that's-
counter, basically.
Yeah, I'm cooking, so I'm essentially bent over this much all the time.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do it. So I've been out of work for 3 weeks now. Almost.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, we were all horizontal 500 million years ago, so your spine shouldn't even be upright anyway.
Correct.
I've been watching so many history videos.
I am fighting gravity better than a lot of people.
Oh yeah, you're standing up for yourself.
I made it all the way to 6 feet tall. A lot of people didn't even get that far.
Oh,
I got further than that.
Reaching new heights.
I got further than that, sick fuck. Can I,
Thing's got those
talk
stretch
about-
goals.
I need to talk about my excuse for not being able to get vice president.
Sure.
So basically, about 2 weeks ago, I woke up. I was on Sunday night. I was like, I really can't be bothered to go to work tomorrow. I don't feel very well, so I didn't actually feel that bad. And then I woke up Monday. I was like, yeah, I really don't want to go to work. I said to my mom, I don't feel well. Can I not go in? She's like, okay, yeah, just go to bed. It's fine. And then Mark was like, oh, you need to take a test. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake. I did think I had it because I didn't feel ill at all. Then I actually came up positive. I was like, oh, fuck, that's pretty shit.
yeah.
And then after a week, the worst thing that happened was a little bit achy, and that was about it. And now, second week, I'm just being allowed back tomorrow, and I haven't been allowed out of my fucking room for the past 2 weeks, so I haven't been able to go get shit, let alone go to the post office or post it.
Do you have a bathroom connected to your room?
No, I have to wear a mask whenever I leave my room to get to the shit.
What? Jeez.
I'm glad that you have mild symptoms of it though, because I know people.
I wouldn't even
who-
call it symptoms.
Yeah.
I may have been like my mind playing tricks on me thinking.
Yeah, you sounded like you had a light cough on day 1 and then have just been...
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't. Water went down the wrong way and I coughed. That's what happened.
I don't know. It sounded pretty intense to me.
I know one guy that's died from it.
It might have been a
already.
watered down version of the virus, but it still
Oh, I'm
sounded like a
sorry.
cough to me.
No, I'm just asymptomatic. I'm just fucking legendary. That's all.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're okay. I genuinely am.
I can't stop.
What?
Ah.
You can't stop what?
Nothing. You missed a pun. You'll get it. Oh, and he got timed out. Okay, Dark Wolf in a podcast.
What
I
you
did not
say?
ignore you. I have been waiting for a minute to talk. I don't even know what IPA is. What are we talking about?
It's a beer. It's
Beer.
like an
Okay.
beer.
Was that
Yeah.
worth spamming
Yeah,
the
it's-
chat? Anyway, I will not. I actually don't have any interest in drinking. That's kind of the joke. But-
yeah, it's also been pretty well known that you have no interest in drinking. So
That's the funny thing
you
about
put
the
it-
title.
can you
I'm
put
the
just
fact that you
everybody
put it
else.
in the title is obviously a joke.
No, I don't know.
You're-
So way back to like the Minerva name too, because we can wrap that up quick. It was the name of our Minecraft community because it's Latin translations correlated with the traits we wanted in our members, and I always liked the name. It
Retarded.
stuck. Yeah, it was super retarded.
Speaking
no,
of
hang on.
names,
You said you want Minerva as a name to describe your members. Yeah, I am one of the members. I think
You were one we stopped using that as the rule. Yeah.
speaking of names,
He walked
and
into
the
it.
title of the stream, not
Oh.
only did you only use half my name, you spelled the half of my name that you used incorrectly.
Don't
Who the
get
fuck
back.
is Donna?
Sorry.
I don't know who Donna is.
I have no idea who Duna is.
Donna.
So Rosa, by the way, I have
Yeah.
finally gotten around to sending out those
Right.
mask templates because as
I'm so excited.
you guys already know, Rosa's been making masks over the past length of this pandemic, and yeah.
Mhm.
So I
Well-
made like these little mask patterns, which you can probably show next podcast or something.
Right, I
They
hope.
arrive on Tuesday, unfortunately. I
Okay.
was hoping they'd arrive today. But yeah, they're like these little template things. They should be pretty cool and they should work okay. You said you also possibly needed some like external templates for them too,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
we kind of talked about that in our messages. I think that would be really fun. So he was telling me that I could just cut it out of acrylic, and you can buy sheets of
Mhm.
acrylic for like $10. I don't know how many of them I would need. I'd have to
Yeah.
figure that out. But he was like telling me to do this and this and this, and he was using words that I am not familiar with because I do not craft with acrylic.
yeah.
And so he was like,
It's
yeah.
so this is
So-
acrylic. It's just like a thin little sheet of something that looks like glass, but it's bendable.
Plastic.
not
Yeah.
like-
Plexiglass.
Yeah, something like that. And it's pretty good for a lot of things. It's got a lot of applications. And also you can cut it with an X-Acto knife if you're careful and you go slow with it. So
Right.
yeah, it
So
should
he
be a
was
fun
telling
little
me how to
arts and
do it.
crafts type thing.
And so I was telling him that we should make a YouTube video for his channel of him like getting a Discord call and him walking me through it. Because I don't know the lingo. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm clumsy. I think this would be funny.
I'm not gonna like make sure that I'll cut out all the gory bits where you accidentally cut your fingers off with an X-Acto knife. Just try and avoid that, and we'll be okay.
I'll do my best.
Yay!
Amateur wants me to change Sig's name to Siggy.
I see that. That's,
Rena. Oh my god.
Siggy Bats.
Yeah.
Isn't Rena the villain from the original? Oh no, that's Rita.
Oh no, it says Rena. Let me fix that.
Arena.
Alex saying happy birthday in the chat.
happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Rita, the villain.
I
figure out-
accidentally sent you your birthday gift a little bit early.
Oh yeah.
But
Is
yeah,
that because you? Wait, what?
I forgot to schedule it.
What schedule? What?
Your birthday gift on Steam.
The Steam
Mm.
gift he sent you.
He
Instead of
just sent
scheduling
it.
it for your birthday, he just sent it right away.
When did that
Yeah.
happen?
Just a second ago when I
Oh, I
was.
haven't had Steam open in a while. You know, the next time I was gonna open Steam was not today. You could have just said
Okay.
nothing, and
Yeah,
It would have might have gotten open on your birthday.
I've been really like super particular about PC performance recently, so I've been closing every program that doesn't do a thing. So Steam is just Steam with all their shitty updates that I cannot. You have to disable update update downloads for every single individual game, as far as I understand it.
Yes.
There's no
And that's
better
the
way.
problem.
So I just
you
closed Steam.
have-
It is not open on my computer anymore. I have 300 games installed. That's down from 900. I am no more of that.
300 different things that might auto update at any moment throughout the entirety of your day, every day. That's ridiculous.
Peace, where's the hype emote? We are actually down a member, so 3 more members until 100, and I can get a hype emote. You know, Alex, you drop like a $5 super chat in most streams. I'm just gonna drop that $5 membership link in chat. Just something for you to think about. Just something you can think about.
Just
Please.
be a member.
Just something to think about. Iron, the link's
Oh,
there for you
true.
too, if you want.
I'm already a member.
I know, but you
dickhead.
said beast. I just couldn't help myself.
You can use the link to upgrade your membership from tier 1 to tier 2.
I actually did.
Fuck
No,
off.
Iron's been great. No, I love
You know
Iron.
what? We need to find a way to link our chats so that I can
I
start
know.
streaming it on.
We're gonna need to get like a
Twitch.
podcast channel, but then people would have to
Mhm.
find it, and it'd be tricky.
I've donated nearly $300 so far to Beast.
Oh, Iron, it was a joke.
No, I'm offended. It's
You
really hurt.
shouldn't be.
Being offended is a choice. Stop making that choice.
I
You
wasn't
are
being
hurting my
offensive. If
feelings.
you want to be offended, you can go ahead, but
I'm joking.
that's my new thing, Sig. I'm gonna start capitalizing on that.
Everything offends
What?
me.
What? Like, I didn't mean offense, so if that's the way you want to take it, you go ahead, but I'm not gonna participate in the next stage.
Yeah. Totally on you.
It's when if somebody chooses to be offended by a thing you said, but like that was not the intent,
You're cancelled.
I am relieving myself of responsibility in certain cases, because that is sometimes just too much effort.
Well, just be careful where you relieve yourself.
right?
End up on a list.
Don't do it behind
Yeah, you can
dumpsters.
definitely end up on a list.
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna say I didn't mean to donate that much, but dude, these $5 donations are so fun to do. Honestly,
He found the text to speech, and we changed it to
Brian.
Brian.
I got you to. I made you change to Brian, and I'm sorry, but you can't complain because you have gotten way more donations. Seriously,
Stupid.
it's amazing. I can make
What
him
is
sound like he's
Brian
drowning. It's
exactly?
hilarious.
Not
He's
even.
a
sure.
Brian,
text to
Brian
speech.
is our Lord and Savior, dude.
Here, you know what? I can actually turn on the donation alerts and replay Alex's donation. And this is what Brian sounds like for those curious. So it's this part.
Create
Oh, you're not gonna read it now. Oh yeah, no, cool. It just replayed the donation without the actual message. That does nothing for me, thank you, Streamlabs. He's the guy who goes happy early birthday, but like in a British robot voice.
Yeah.
Can you replay one of mine?
Maybe. Froggy
Dude.
spammed my donations a lot. It might literally up there. Okay, let's find a short one. Those are hard to find. Here, let's. This was a short one. Is it gonna actually play the?
Music makes me lose control.
There,
Music
now
makes me lose control.
And then it's just gonna.
Let's go. All
right. I'm turning it off now. So that's basically what that sounds like. That doesn't help Donna.
I love him so much.
She probably has a stream muted, but yeah, 7777. If you get, what did you say, 32 digits, he'll read out
100. It's 135 sevens. Any more, any less, it doesn't read out the full number.
135.
Yes.
He will read
Jesus.
out the actual name of that number
Yes.
all the way down, the way down, and it is just that one takes
Amazing.
minutes.
No.
That
It does take about 2 minutes.
You have a member asking you to change my name to Rosadino, and you know
Oh.
what? I agree.
all right. Well, let's go for it. That's
A
actually
member
like
requested it.
extraordinarily fitting because of what I was saying, where I was just okay. How are we not reading this as Rosa Dino? Is there any other
Okay,
way?
Rosa-
Like,
Fine.
I
That-
mean,
Yeah.
I say Dino because I think
Rosadino
of the
sound-
Flintstones.
I was
They're
thinking
also
of, like,
using
a really
dinos.
nice pizza, like one of those.
Yeah.
ones that
Dino
you
is their
get in the
dog.
frozen section.
Which is-
and
oh, I didn't watch the Flintstones. But-
I know,
Frozen
you're a
section.
little-
What?
Yeah, like a Rosadino pizza. It's probably
Oh,
better
okay.
than visual.
I ever plan to open a PO box.
The Dino Pete.
Enough people
Yeah.
ask me to where I might do it. That'd be fun for the podcast in general. Have a PO box.
That'd be fun.
Have them send
Have a
us
PO
things.
box for the podcast.
Yeah.
I can see
I'm
where
gonna, I will send you so many dildos. Holy shit.
You did mention having an actual podcast channel.
Mm-hmm.
You already do separate the podcasts from all your other videos and put them in their own
Playlist.
playlist and whatnot. I can never remember playlist for some reason. You already do that. If we did start it up on a channel, all you would have to do is run a podcast starting soon thing every now and then on your own channel. You know, just a video that you could delete after the day of or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
things like that. But I mean, it would separate us out a little bit more so that you'd stop having people coming in going, "Why are you playing Save the World? This isn't Save the World."
I don't know. I always wanted to evolve my channel more
It's a
than
thought.
any gaming game.
Mhm.
I don't know. And I like having the podcast on here because I scroll through my videos as viewed by like subscribers and whatnot, where they don't see all the unlisted streams and whatnot. And it's nice because I'll have 5, 6, 7, however many videos I upload throughout the week, separated by little purple Minerva Podcast thumbnails.
Centralized.
It shows people there's more going on my channel than
Mhm.
what people expect of me. A lot of people label me as a Save the World channel. I'm like, that is definitely what I'm doing right now, but this is not a Save the World brain. There's a lot more that's going to be going on my channel sooner or later.
And
And
the OnlyFans.
like, yeah, Fortnite is a huge focus for me right now. That's not going to change soon, but that is not me. I am not a Save the World person. You know what I mean? Podcast and Donna being muted. Oh, she's talking to someone. Okay. And Minecraft.
I love it that
and-
you glossed right over Iron.
What? What?
He said starting up your OnlyFans.
Oh, I was in a thing. I didn't even...
And
Not out of the
no, it was good
question.
though. The way he said it and the fact that you just kept on going as if he hadn't said it at all, it worked really well.
He's
That's
adding
how
one
it
to the
works.
fire, you know,
That
adding another stick.
That's
Save the World,
happens to most
Pokemon
of
Go,
the things I-
Minecraft, and Sudoku.
happens to most of the things I say to him, to be honest.
So I like the idea of streaming, like allowing Donna to stream the podcast as well, get more viewership, but to decentralize it or bring it to one central, separate channel is a tricky concept because we'd be starting from scratch. It would lose a lot of the, you know,
traction.
effort.
Just overall,
Yeah, it would be
anybody
like the
seeing it.
diehard fans. It'd be hard to. I'd have to make a video on my channel telling them to go over there, but because I have the playlist on my
Yep.
channel, I'd like to at least
There
upload
would
my
be
recorded
there would
version.
be some disconnect, but all the regulars, all the
Yeah.
regulars, they go wherever you go. Like a lot of the regulars have followed me on Twitch, and I stream like once or twice a month. And I get a lot of people from the regulars coming in to say hi to me.
You know, we've stopped talking about putting it on like Spotify and Google Podcasts and everything, and that is still something we need to figure out.
It's still on the
It's not
table. and we do need to
sound-
work
We're
it
gonna
out.
do that. We have to stop doing so many show and tells.
It's on SoundCloud, dude.
Well, I mean, we just have to be more like
Conscious.
apt and good.
No,
at
I
this.
love that. I do. Like, if
Now
we're gonna
here I
record
will
this with
think
videos,
a pair of
this
pliers.
is the truest form. If anybody's ever watching, hey, I'll definitely re-upload old shows. So if you're in the future right now listening to this on Spotify or wherever, just know that you're missing out on visual content. That there's an element to this that is not conveyed in audio only.
If
Can
you're
we
in the
put on
future right now,
SoundCloud?
if you're in the future right now, listening to this, like way in the future, check
Yeah.
and see if merch.minerva.gg is still up and running.
If you're in the future, why didn't you warn us about 9/11?
And if
Oh
it
my
is,
goodness.
score yourself a sweet t-shirt.
The hell yeah,
Just
there you go. Can streaming multiple channels be linked in one chat? That's the complication.
That's what we're wondering.
That's the hard
We have
part.
to find a way to do that.
Well, Twitch has that whole option of being able to do multicast or whatever it is.
Right, that's squad
I
streaming,
don't think it
but
supports
that
streaming type
chats
thing.
though.
right, that wouldn't pull it to both of ours. So it's just something
No,
we have
yeah.
to look
But that's something we need to explore. We need to hit up the Discord. There's 7,000, 8,000 almost people in the Discord, and I'm sure one of them at least knows something about how to set up podcast stuff, like
Mhm.
for being on Apple and on Spotify and all that crap.
Somebody's got to know something.
So we need to put out the call.
I would know a hell of a lot more about it if I'd,
Try.
Google it, which I haven't yet. I don't think I have a Spotify account. I mean, this is embarrassing because I could figure it out in a day if I put forth brain power. It's just-
We haven't though. It's the
Because the
problem.
podcast
We've-
is small.
we've
We're
briefly
kindling
touched on
right now.
things.
Yeah, this is episode
Yeah.
30.
It's
It's
nice
only
and
been a few
cozy.
months. We're just getting started,
Yeah.
But on the flip side, 30 is 7.5
Half a year.
months. Probably time to, I don't know.
Start
Looking at
expanding our
something.
We've
empire.
been getting about 1,000 views an episode now. It's just
What the hell is that supposed to mean, Barry?
Oh my goodness,
What
what is he
did Barry
talking
say?
about?
I'm
You
going to see
said-
this podcast when I'm 90 and all of you are dead. You have such little faith in my ability to live for the next 90 years.
I look
Right.
shocked, but I'm
Biggest
probably gonna
outlet.
try. It's fine.
So you beat the hell out of yourself to go another 90. That is, I think your 9 might be upside down in your projection there.
Crank 90s all day.
I hate you so much. I don't think I would ever have thought I would hear that coming out of Sig's mouth. That's ridiculous.
You know what's
Mm,
scary is when you die or anyone in the podcast or your YouTube videos become old, untouched, and dusty for eternity. I don't know. I've thought it'd be weird to have like this recorded younger version of myself in future. I doubt it'll happen, but if I ever end up having
and
kids,
you look back.
no, I mean I doubt the prospect of children in my future. But I mean, if it happens, then this would be a lot of me on the internet for.
Yeah.
In 20 years,
Yeah.
Clark's gonna take over my spot in this
Mm.
podcast.
I'm protected by the
When-
bulk
yeah.
of it. I mean, we have
I mean,
albums of old pictures of my mom and dad, and I haven't looked through them. I don't need to know what they were doing when they were younger. I don't know.
Doing your
Yeah.
mom, sorry.
But you'll appreciate that when they're gone.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
So, like,
When you're-
they're
if-
still
if you have
around,
a
it's kinda
son-
like,
if you have a son, when he turns
Alright,
around
Alex, I got you.
21, he'll be able to look back at this and say, "Wow, I look just like Dad," or
mhm.
"Wow, I look nothing like Dad," or whatever. I remember being like 13 years old, 12 years old, and there was a black and white photo, like an old photo of my father when he was 12 or 13,
Yeah.
like on the mantle in our house. And people would come over to visit or whatever, and they'd see it and they'd be like, "Hey, where'd you get a black and white photo of your kid?" And my mom would be like, "Oh no, that's his dad. They just look that much alike."
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a neat thing to be able to do every now and then to look back at something for a kid to see their parent when they were their age, kind of thing.
What I was more so concerned with the idea of was, like, seeing things that they shouldn't, like the first 3 minutes of this podcast, probably an awkward thing for a future kid of mine to hear, Not a joke I'm ashamed of. That is my humor, however crass. But maybe not something I'd want a kid of mine to stumble upon. However, I would never expect a kid of mine to be going through all of these podcasts. I mean, I have put thousands of hours of content out there. I mean, it would be inhuman for anybody to consume a 10% of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is a task to go through my old videos, refined bundles of content, never mind the streams. Oh my goodness. it just couldn't happen. Like, I don't know. It's like those old jokes of people in podcasts, like, running for president or something. You would need to hire teams of people to comb through that much content. And even then, you wouldn't make a dent. I mean, it'd be so tough.
I think it would still be doable.
I think
but
so, maybe.
It would be tougher.
Hey,
I've
just-
got, like,
just
what,
think,
1,100
my
streams
kid-
on YouTube?
My kid would have to find your old content.
You hire 30 people a month. You hire 30 people for a month and partition my videos between each of them. I think it'd take a month for 30 people in an organized fashion, and even then it would be hell. Like,
And
that
say
would be
20 years down the road, I'm sure there
It's
will
good.
be better automation and like
Word
AIs
recognition,
that could scrub through it all just to see what's
True.
Can you
there.
imagine training an AI to find dirty phrases and then just scanning people's streams for shit they've said?
Yeah. I mean, I don't entirely know if the technology is there right now, but I think it would be entirely possible in like 10 years.
That's
So-
it.
It's semi-possible because there is the whole speech
Yeah.
to text thing. So you could run an AI to speech to text the entire podcast and then try to pull from there. But then, of course, it would miss certain things because there is the overlapping speech
Mhm.
and there is the incoherent words. And like I slur my words a lot. So like speech
Yeah,
to
but
text
that-
always fucks up what I say. So to a
That
certain
technology is
extent,
improving every day too.
that's
Yeah.
true, but I'm saying like right now, so I could
Yeah.
see that happening is that they could just run an AI to speech to text everything and then another AI to scan that transcript.
Well, depending on how bored Akova is.
I have. He is working with AI for what it's worth.
That's
But
pretty cool.
I don't know. I think future AI is going to be way smarter than we are, and it's going to happen fast.
I've been watching a lot of like science fiction and like far future type possibilities and stuff by this one creator called Isaac Arthur, and he does a lot of like stuff with like what our potential civilization could look like, say like a couple thousand years from now, where we're colonizing other planets and other star systems and such. And it's really interesting and fascinating to see all the possibilities and such, and all the possibilities with like AI and all that. It's pretty interesting.
Makes me so glad I've been binging all these old videos I mentioned earlier. Where like I right before the show watched a video about like human progression and like the different originating areas in Africa, and how like in my brain I'm like, what? We just made it to South America and Australia somehow, and then like now we're talking about other planets.
Yeah.
And it took us 500 million years to do all that I just said, and now we're it is crazy. It is so crazy how fast things have moved. Because now I
Yeah.
have this newfound appreciation.
Well, I mean, we're talking about colonizing other planets and stuff, but at the same time, we still haven't finished, exploring all of this planet.
We've gotten pretty
Yeah.
far in the scope of the planet, though. Like, I've been
While
binging all these
true.
videos of how slow it's gone. I mean, it took us like the first humans that like represented what we are today, Homo sapiens, were kicking like 250,000 years ago. A 250,000 years from like existing to fire and shelters and whatnot, and then like
Yeah.
when did we start writing shit down? 10,000 years ago? Not even.
Yeah.
When did we start writing shit down? What a way to say it.
Right.
They're using stone tools.
A lot of people say language is when it began. Once we could
Start-
communicate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the record keeping of storytelling is
once we could start passing information on, shit snowballs fast.
Mhm.
Oh man, I mean, think of like early hominids. You'd have to like essentially start over. I mean, how much can you really convey without talking? You show the tools and how to fight and bathe and eat, but that's it. Once you start writing down like techniques, like, hey, we figured out that if you rub sticks against something and it's a really, really dry leaf, this happens and you can cook with it.
Yeah.
That gets passed on really, really well. And I don't know, that's kind of the thing. Like, schooling is now mandatory. We come out the gate way smarter. We learn in our first 10 years way more than any hominid did 100,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And it is.
And any information you could possibly want to know or conceive of, or even not know about, is available at your fingertips in less than 10 seconds.
We could research body language, learn what people are thinking by the things that they do. You could analyze every little thing that Puglet is doing right now and just understand his emotions and what's going on there.
I'm fucking pissed because Blob's being retarded. Sorry, I was gonna stop.
See what I mean? Like, you could detect like his focused anger that was taking him out of the conversation, and
I wasn't
turned
even in it in the
aside.
first place. I don't even know what's going on. I couldn't even get a word in all the time.
I've been watching so many of these, and it's fun because so many of these videos are not even on humans. We are like the last little tip of the long evolutionary chain, and it is just scary. I mean, people estimate like archaeologists can only estimate the age of bones, and they're like, anywhere from 200 to 250 million years ago. I'm like, okay, back up. You just brushed off a 50 million year gap for this fast. That's as close as you could get. 50 million
it's done by
years.
carbon dating, which I think which isotope of carbon it is has like a half-life of 6,000 years or something, and so you're able to estimate off of
really
that.
dial it in.
There's some discrepancies of that.
Carbon 12. Of course, Akova knows.
Carbon
about
12,
this.
yeah. There you go, Akova.
Carbon dating
You're
is
smarter
so
than me, Akova. And I'm not very
Carbon
smart.
dating is so cool.
Oh, what? What was he even saying in chat? Oh, just
You
gibberish.
just fucking
No, I've been really enjoying those videos because it was amazing how YouTube knows more about what I want than I do. Where like I've been kind of interested in literally within days of thinking, no communication to anybody about like kind of being interested in like old history. Like I used to watch History Channel all the time as a kid, and most of it was junk, ancient aliens bullshit. But they touch on old civilizations a lot, and I was like, wow, back when History Channel was actually about history, it was kind of interesting. And I feel like most of my knowledge from that time was all when I was a kid. It's like my education about our past just cut off when I was 12. And so now I've been revisiting a lot of old videos, and it's very fun for me. I don't know, it's like a hobby that I never knew I had.
And it's incredibly easy to find because there's a lot of like good content creators that do specifically just history and these very niche type subjects too. So it's
PBS is huge
very
about it.
interesting.
They have a whole
I used to
awesome
love
channels.
the History Channel
Mhm.
when I was younger because I'm a history nerd. I love the random like tidbits. And I remember it was about like my early 20s when the History Channel just got like fucking weird. And like they don't do history anymore.
That lines up when I was watching. That's like right when I noticed it was getting
That's
weird.
when they started being like aliens, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Like, where was my World War II documentaries? Now we're talking about
Where's all
fucking
my
crystal skulls?
documentaries?
I want to learn about pyramids.
Right. I want to learn about pyramids. I want
That
to
don't
learn
involve
about
aliens.
Marie Antoinette.
Which I
wanna
just
learn
did, by
about
the
the
way.
Serbian
Pyramids.
terrorist organization that took out Franz Ferdinand. Like,
Yeah.
When I studied history as one of my like subjects for GCSEs, which is like the exams, you like pick subjects at the beginning of the 2 years, and then through those 2 years you learn about it, and then you do final exams afterwards. Anyway, I chose history as one of them, and like most of it was just fucking boring. We learned about like it's like the politics behind Nazi Germany and like, the Cold War. I just wanted to learn about cool shit like Vietnam and all that kind of shit, but we never learned about the boring stuff.
That's what I've been enjoying. There's no textbook in my face. Nobody's quizzing me, making sure I snagged every detail. I'm just following whatever thread I wanna. It's like PBS, like, oh, what happened to the woolly rhino? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to know what happened to the woolly rhino. What's a
I
woolly
love
rhino? We're about to
rhino.
find out.
my favorite kind
animal
of
growing
book
up, actually.
are
Woolly
historical
rhino.
fictions that take like real facts of real things that were going on and then put like some random story interwoven in it. So like a maid in the French palace and like, whatever during Marie Antoinette, like that view of it and like real events lining up. I love it.
Chris watched that Vietnam
I don't
documentary, I
wanna-
think for school, and has been hounding me to watch it.
You're lagging.
I don't
Sig.
want to butcher the shit out of the name of this.
Kurgzagat.
It's Kuzgazat.
Oh,
I
of course you know.
Whatever it is,
love
I don't
those-
know how to say it. but I
Yeah.
know that it's super fucking awesome. And
First
they make
Science Channel to
amazing
10
videos.
million.
And that's an interesting video you chose on optimistic nihilism, because that's I like that video a lot.
What?
That one that you pulled up. Wait, no, that's the entire channel. Never mind.
Yeah, that's the whole channel. Like I just
My bad. I should have read.
No, but they have a ton of very, very interesting videos that are
Yeah.
informational. They're not, fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Watched them
And
before.
that's the problem with the History Channel. Like y'all are talking about how the History Channel stopped being, about evolution and
History.
whatnot, and started being about aliens and whatnot. And it was just like, hang on,
So
it stopped being nonfiction and started being fiction.
Chris
Yeah.
corrected me
it's
saying he
just,
didn't watch it for school, and it was
don't
only
get it.
because of out of his own interest. I had the opposite happen. I watched the Cosmos series on Netflix, which was who's the astrologer black dude, everybody's favorite scientist,
I
Neil
knew it as
deGrasse
soon as
Tyson.
you said.
right? Neil, what's his name? Come on.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse
Yeah,
Tyson.
love that guy.
We got a badass over here, guy.
I know, and he's a great guy, and I had watched that well before anything was made of it. But then in class, our teacher put on the first episode of that, and I was like, oh, I've already seen this. So when I had to use the bathroom, I slept through the whole thing because I'd just watched the 14-part series in my free time. I was like, all right,
When I was in high school, Netflix used to send you DVD.
mm-hmm.
Actually,
Actually-
that wasn't until after Blockbuster still existed when I was in
When
high
I was
school.
No,
was
I
gonna
actually used
say.
that to my advantage a couple times. My grandfather had a Netflix subscription where he would get DVDs all the time. And I had to do this book report on The Glass Menagerie, which was a book that I didn't really care to read because at that time I didn't really like reading that much, which is odd considering my library that's massive. But so he coincidentally got the movie The Glass Menagerie, which is word for word copy of the book.
Oh,
And so I just watched
That's
the movie
rare.
instead. And it was very convenient. So I kind of learned that at my own pace, and I kind of didn't have to worry about reading an entire book because I had procrastinated on it the entire time. We did this test on it.
This Jaffe's way of reading books is just to put on the audio book and go.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't be
hate
able to follow that.
in-class reading for a different reason. I read so quickly
Yeah.
that it's really frustrating to have to read along with the class because then they do the popcorn reading or whatever. They pick someone
That's
else.
the worst.
And then, they'd call on me and I'd be like, oh, what page and section are we on? And they'll be like, have you not been reading? And I'm like, actually, I'm 3 chapters ahead. So if you could just tell me where to go, I'll read that for you real quick.
Yeah.
I was
I had
apparently
a problem in classes when they'd say, "Did you do the summer reading?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and the summer reading for next year and the year after that. So let's
I seem to be
find
one of the
something
only
new.
kids in my English class who wasn't in honors, who had not forgotten my 7th grade skills. So whenever I'd sleep in class or whatever, the teacher would make me read, and then I'd just not hang up on the 6-syllable words the whole way, and she just let me run the rest of the class. She quit the popcorn there and was like, just let him go, shit. Because this was her punishment, but then the punishment faded into just let him finish the chapter here. This is great.
Actually, I'd prefer he did it because I didn't
Just
I don't
keep
wanna
it
hear the
going, Brandon.
struggle through.
Yeah.
And it
No,
was just it was funny.
I love the.
I've noticed that about a lot of people is that their ability to read out loud is very, very different from their reading and comprehension in general.
I got alarmed by my
And
high school
I've
class.
seen that happen over the years when I was in school, where people would think, oh, because that person can't read it out loud, they're gonna fail this test or that test. No, they just suck at reading it out loud.
There's some social factors too.
that's
You
one
get
of
a
those
whole
things that
class listening to you.
It's a skill. It's a skill that is acquired and or worked on or whatever, or you're just naturally good at it.
Well, you're
I'm
Ben
naturally
Shapiro.
good at just reading out what I see out loud.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't.
Either that, or you just be Ben Shapiro and you're good.
Oh goodness.
No one wants to be Ben Shapiro.
Jesus. No one wants to.
He said that because he's good at speaking. That's what he said.
Ben
he's
Shapiro
good.
is just
Talking fast.
my favorite.
He's a nutcase,
No.
and I
He
love him
is
for it.
so good at debating, and that's
It's
what I
scary,
like
he's
about
generally
him.
good, and it's
Whether or
funny.
not you agree with his views, the way he dismantles people is fascinating to me.
He doesn't.
Sorry, Rosa. What is that lean in you were just doing a moment ago?
Hey, Rosa,
I think she disagrees with
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro.
What's that?
I
What is
disagree
going
with
on?
Ben Shapiro.
I disagree with a lot of the things, but I
No.
respect how good he is at debating. Is it just
Well,
twice?
it's easy to disagree with him because I think what side of the political spectrum? Regardless, he's the
alt-right.
extreme version of it. Yeah, like he is the furthest
Yeah.
on that side you can be.
Yeah.
You know, really mess Iron up. Everybody lean in good.
I'm not even looking at I can just close off Discord. Give me a sec.
The fact that he has to do that even. Like, oh god.
It
get it
really-
away.
But I
creeps
thought
me
you
out.
liked my makeup.
No, I don't
It's
like
a
eye contact.
sunset.
You know that. I hate eye
But-
contact.
It's
It
alright.
makes me
I'm
fucking-
super Asian today. Unless
makes
I
me-
look up, you can't see my eyes.
Please, that's
make-
racist.
That
To
happens.
talk about my own face?
Oh
Did
goodness.
you say that's super Asian?
Oh god.
What did you say?
She,
I
has,
mean,
she has Asian heritage.
I
well, I didn't
am.
fucking know that. Well, that's
I
not my
know.
fault.
It's been
I've
pointed
noticed,
out, like,
especially in
4 different
today's current climate.
Oh, I'm sorry,
In today's
but
current social climate, Iron's probably just memeing, but you can't even discuss a race without just being bombarded nowadays. It's scary. I-
Well, everyone wants to be offended for everyone else.
You
and
can't even
just gotta
acknowledge it.
leave to it. Like,
Did you hear about
like-
that chess thing?
what?
Did you hear about
The-
that
the
chess
chess-
channel? The chess channel got
the chess thing.
demonetized because it was about black versus whites. It was chess.
Wait,
Oh.
what?
Oh,
YouTube
yeah, I
demonetized
did
it.
hear about that.
That's dumb.
Because like an algorithm just went through and so it was literally about chess, like the black chess pieces.
Let me see if
versus
I can
the
guess
white
it. Is it? Oh, you might have done it on accident. I was just imagining in my head a title: Black versus White. Which is better in chess? And it's like talking about
wasn't
whether or not
even
white
that.
gives you an advantage. Is that
It
not what it
wasn't even-
was?
It was
They
just
shut
something
down the
he
whole
did-
fucking channel.
Wait, which channel?
Well, it
I
doesn't
don't
exist
know.
anymore.
The chess
no
channel?
opportunity for appeals. Or
I don't know that they shut it down, but they demonetized the whole channel
Demonetized the whole channel because of it.
Chess.com?
because I don't know.
No,
it was some
it's-
shit.
I know. I can
It may
find
not
it.
even be
That's-
true. It
No,
may
it
be
is-
an onion news.
It is no, it
No,
is
I
true. I
saw
can
it
get Daniel to send it to me after the podcast because he was the one that showed it to me. But
White is better. It has nothing to do with race. Yeah, if you have the first move, you have the advantage. It's kind of just known.
Hey,
Well,
as long
that-
as you can do the little castle move, then it's okay.
that
You
hurts.
can do that on
hurts.
either side.
Yes.
It hurts my soul.
You know what
to
I didn't know
see.
for the longest time? You can castle king side or queen side. No,
Really?
the whole thing.
Oh, I
You
didn't know
should
that.
Look up long castling.
I thought it was
Well,
only one side, but
I did too.
Beast, you know, can you play chess like well?
No. I mean, like king side, queen
No, but
side, and
I know-
black and white can do it.
I'm just asking.
I'm
like, can you-
terrible. My elo is like 900. They start you at
Yeah.
1200.
Can you I think Daniel was like, okay, for starters, Daniel's Asian and he got taught from a
How
very young
dare
age.
you even mention? I'm sorry.
And he is
Too many jokes.
fucking insane. And I beat him because of one mistake he made, and I was so fucking happy. But he's beat me like 50 times otherwise, so it's it's fine.
There's
But
like
he
a
is very
there's like a natural ceiling for a lot of people around like 12 or 1400 elo where you can't really progress until you start learning theory. And I never really wanted to get that into chess. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't.
I used to be good at it in 4th grade, but I was playing against 4th graders, and then my dad beat me badly in chess, and that made me
it's
realize I was not very good at chess. So that didn't work out at all. And
Your dad just wasn't just gonna pull any punches with you, huh?
no, he was mean.
My dad doesn't like to play chess with me anymore.
Dad was not fucking around.
No.
Put you in your place.
Yeah.
Know your place.
I got all those games of checkers and chess that my dad beat me in when I was a kid. I got him back on the Xbox.
There you go.
Put him on the X-Men video game. He didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they tell you.
My dad just normal beat me.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's it's interesting that chess is one of those like strictly classical games. Like the king is the one you need to defend, and black and white pieces, and white moves first, and it's also religiously centered with the bishop as the whatever, one of the pieces, and it's a traditional game. Like, it's not, yeah, it's a little slow moving too. Like, grandmasters are still classed by gender. Like, women grandmaster is a title instead of normal grandmaster, which is not been overturned yet, which I don't understand. But like,
They're working on it, but there's just so much
whatever that means.
misogyny.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
chess is a boys' club right now and has been forever, and I don't see why. I don't know. There's a chick I followed on Instagram who I might be less interested in her chess skills than other. Anyway, so she hosted like a women's only chess tournament, which I was like, and her whole idea was like giving women opportunity that men always have, I guess. And I was like, well, but like a women's only tournament doesn't break the barrier, it just puts a different one up. That's not.
No, but it just presents another opportunity for women that they wouldn't otherwise
Yeah.
have. Because there are so many chess tournaments that women cannot attend.
So is that true? That's what I was curious about.
Yeah.
They flat
I
out
mean, you were just
cannot
saying that it
attend.
was a male grandmaster, female grandmaster.
But it was my understanding they could participate in the same tournaments all the time.
Not
I
all the
think
time.
I think the point there though is when you make a segregation of only these people are allowed in this club, you don't fix that by saying, oh well, only these people are allowed in this club.
Right.
You say, okay, this one's all inclusive, so fuck y'all. That's what you do. That's how you fix that problem. Is you make an all inclusive, not a
And
we'll make our own club. Fuck you.
I only
You
really
know?
remember this too because I read her Instagram story later where I was not the only person to think that, and she got a swarm of DMs like, hey, come on, we're not sexist, why don't we get to participate? Like, just because we have a dick, we can't be in your tournament? But
She might have been just trying to make a safe space
he was
for
just
female
trying
chess
to do a
players.
thing.
And that I understand.
Plot
That I
twist.
can totally
Plot twist. She has a dick.
No, that's not true.
That would
No,
be
I'm
good.
sorry, Iron. I know. In the world of anime, this is always a possibility, but
What anime? What the fuck?
not today. So that's interesting
you-
to me, though. I don't know all the different chess tournaments and rules. I was curious about that myself, actually, whether or
No.
not.
No titty twisting.
Is the World Championships male and female? I would assume it is. Like, I just don't know.
Which doesn't make
Yeah, I
any
believe it
sense
is.
It
because
shouldn't.
there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
physical aspect and it shouldn't make a difference.
You're not throwing fists.
But we're
so-
talking about an old,
I am.
very
Fuck.
traditional game, and that is going to be a slow-moving
Oh, well, if
process to
you're
get
gonna-
anything overturned.
If you're gonna address the throwing fists as far as the male female perspective of it, there was that one guy that went through the gender transition
Oh, goodness.
and was an MMA fighter,
Oh yeah.
and he became a lady and was a lady MMA fighter fighting actual ladies,
Oh my god. He fucked
and
me
he
up.
was ruining the shit out of them.
Yeah, I think
And
one
they,
of them
they had a big fucking thing about it because it was
It's a
like
real moral
physically-
gray area. Yeah.
Yeah.
physically this person has the strength of a fucking full-grown man.
didn't one get sent to hospital or something?
Oh yeah, a bunch of people got
Oh, yeah.
badly But
My
yeah,
favorite example was the guy who
Joe
identified as a
Rogan
woman.
addressed the whole thing.
My favorite
Yeah.
example was the guy who identified as a woman for a brief period while he broke the women's weightlifting record.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
And then stopped.
And his whole
Right.
point was the fact that, like, he supports the movement of people, self-gendering and choosing their way of lives. But if you're going to bring it to sports, you're going to ruin fair competition if you don't.
Yeah.
Right. And it's hard to verbalize that without like being transphobic and
He was
it's
very well
difficult.
worded,
It's
which is what I
difficult,
liked about him
right.
so much. He really explained himself well, and he did not come off that way at all. I wouldn't say gender equality
yeah,
is a
no,
fallacy
I wouldn't
there,
go that
Daniel.
far. Physically, men and women have different strength. Men's strength is in their upper body. Women's strength is in their lower body. If you took two equal weight MMA fighters, man versus woman, if the chick gets him down on the ground, he's done. Because as soon as she gets her legs around him, he's fucking done.
Dude,
Even
you know
outside of
the way-
that, I'd be willing to bet any day of the week that your pain tolerance is higher than mine.
Oh, have you seen my kid's head?
Oh, jeez.
I'm just saying.
Yo, I got
like that.
I stubbed my
That
toe the other
particular reason is a lot of the reason that women
I-
are stronger than men. In a sense.
day. I stubbed my toe the other day, and I only cried for 5 hours. I have a really
Oh,
Women got better ass. I agree, Donna. Jesus Christ.
what?
He's just talking shit over on Twitch.
Mm.
He is
Don't
nothing
say
he says
No,
is serious. He's just,
It's true. When a billion years ago, when I was at Marine Corps boot camp and we were being taught the basics of, so Marine Corps has their own like martial arts called McMAP,
Mhm.
Marine Corps martial arts program. So they were teaching us the basics, and the instructor was male, and he was saying how he is, a black belt instructor with like all these other qualifications, and he would not want to fight a woman because if she gets him down and she gets him in any sort of leg lock, he's fucking done for.
Are you sure it's
Ground game.
Are you sure?
Ground game is strong.
Am I what?
Are you sure it was because he didn't want to break someone's nose or something?
Oh,
I
I've
mean,
broken
that's
someone's
not
nose before.
Rules of the competition to break people's nose.
I'm just saying, like, it might be more of a chance of him hurting someone if he's against someone who's much weaker than him. I don't know. I'm just...
so that's
That was
You're
not the
missing
point.
the point there.
that was a bigger complication in the whole thing, and that was like it was happening in high schools too, where trans men were able to try out for the girls' teams, and it's just
Right. And it's real difficult because I feel for the kids. I do, but it's not a fair
Well,
ground.
I
That's
mean-
like letting like a kid that's like 21 and has been held back play on the varsity team.
didn't
It's
benchwarmers
no
do that?
longer fair.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Okay, how about we address it like this? Can you grow a beard? Because if you
No.
can grow a beard, then you can be in this fight, and if you can't grow a beard, you be in that fight over there.
What if
That's,
I can't?
you know,
I
That's-
can't
that's
grow a beard.
separating.
Can't certain
But that
hormone
doesn't
balances
work
change
when you're
that?
talking about someone who's
that's
going through a
about the amount of-
transition or has been through a transition. When someone's been through a transition, yes, they may have changed certain aspects about themselves and they have to take supplemental hormones.
I'm referring to the dude that transitioned
Oh.
to female and then was destroying women in a women's sport. Like, like what the hell?
Right.
That person could still grow a beard, like full on.
Honestly,
it's like,
there's been enough occurrences of it that I feel like major sports, like Olympic sports, need 2 more new categories.
I think that's the
I think you
end
need
goal
a
solution.
MTF category and an FTM category.
I don't think there's
Yeah.
enough. I don't think there's enough Olympic level athletes in that category to make it like.
I'm
Make
sure
it.
we can always find
Yeah,
out.
but that's where you get into those people that are at that level being underrepresented because there aren't enough in that
Yeah.
category.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, who knows? Maybe if you open up those as categories, people that have been through this would be inspired to actually go out because
Yeah.
there is so
Make the
much
effort, yeah.
controversy in
So-
these things.
I just ran to one side and then came back in my brain. So, and my idea was like, you got a Y chromosome, you're competing with the men, however you want to dress. But give me a second. If you got 2 X's, you're a biological woman. But then that's where I ran back. I'm like, oh, hormone blockers and rebalancers are a thing. So they do things to their body to make them more effeminate. You're literally, you're truly not a full-fledged, hormonally male. So a different category would truly be the fairest way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
because somebody mentioned, because I'm stealing a lot of this from, the PKA podcast where they went into this hugely. They're very into MMA and a lot of that stuff, which I don't follow, but people who know a lot more about this than me have mentioned the fact that you can do all the testosterone blocking you can, but if you've gone through puberty as a male, you have muscle mass that is just not going to be there on a woman. But if you suppress that, well, you're not really competing as a fair male either. You are at a disadvantage, but you're an in-between.
When transitioning from male to female, the best time to do it is as early as you can.
Before puberty.
Because, yeah, but one of the things that estrogen does is it redistributes fat in the body. Like, so it will, not to a massive example, but it will make some areas, it will move some, anyway. But yeah, if you fucking have a huge schlong or you got fucking loads of beards, you got a deep voice, that ain't gonna change. You can't get hormones to change your voice. That's only done with therapy or like removal of the Adam's apple.
That's true. It takes like a vocal cord shaving or something like that. I forget exactly what it's called. But
So
yeah, it's a moral gray area.
What is
You
the
don't really
truth?
want to single them out, but you don't want to let them like knock the shit out of people because they are physically like superior in
Yeah.
certain aspects.
So we
You
differentiate
don't
in sports
fight
by
outside of your weight
age.
class.
How is
Right.
this different? Because everybody can see clearly and ubiquitously that age is a determinate factor
Right.
in your.
That's why I compared it to this
Yes.
kid that got held back and is 21 playing on the varsity team. Yeah, he's gonna knock the shit out of these 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
The problem there is you're saying, okay, we have a definitive thing. We have a measurement, a place
An
to
age,
say, okay,
a number.
everybody above 18. That's a specific, definitive. You've been on this planet that long, you know that. But the male to female transition, that's where you stop having a definitive thing.
I mean, I imagine there's
and that's
weight
where, or the
classes.
female to male, either way. But it's a matter of
I'm
you
parked on the
stop
memes channel.
giving yourself you stop having a way to differentiate and say specifically, okay, you belong in this category while you belong in that category, where people are still trying to separate it that way. And the problem is that we as a species, as a race, the human race are evolving and changing, and we are becoming more than we were 50 years ago.
I don't see
and
why there would be a problem adding additional categories specifically to the Olympics, because when the Olympics were first
and there
originated,
shouldn't be a
there
problem.
were no women. There was not a
There
women's
should not be a
category.
problem. Back
Right.
when it was created, black people weren't allowed to compete.
Right.
Clothes are also.
There should not be a
allowed.
problem. And
I don't know why I had to be the one to add that
thing about
fact,
it, though,
but it was
is it's a great idea and concept, and I'm all for it. Yes, please make more categories, but you have to understand that if you make a category for, say, MMA fighters, male to female transition,
Mhm.
you're gonna have a very small number of people that are going to be doing
But
that.
so my point with
and
that is that when the
and
Olympics
that may
open
open
up
it
to
up
women,
for those people. That may open it up for those people to actually become more active in that community and do that because they held back from it before because they were afraid of it or whatever. But at the same time, if you do it right now, today, this coming Olympics, which is being postponed or
Yep.
canceled, anyway,
it's up in the
even
air.
if it were happening and you had that category right now, they would only have what, 2 people maybe.
but that's how it
You know, and-
starts.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. And so the sooner it gets implemented, the sooner
I
you can
understand, and
start
I'm not saying don't do it at all. I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm agreeing with you that yes, but it would suck that those 2 people are the only ones, and they wouldn't really have anybody to compete against. So what would they be doing?
as complicated of an
They
issue
couldn't
as
get a
it
gold
is.
medal for competing against themselves.
setting the records.
You know.
They'd be setting the records. They'd be setting the bar for the next person
yeah,
that comes.
Okay. I see that. Yeah, set a bar. I understand that. But giving them a gold medal and saying, you won in the Olympics against no one else is a weird thing. But yeah, set the bar. That'd be a great way to do it. I
If
understand
that's how
that.
it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I assume there'd be enough athletes.
Exhibition. There you go. That's the way to say it.
I wouldn't be shocked if they maybe had a requirement, like for a swimming category. If 16 people don't fill in that category, maybe they just can't hold the competition as it's not really a full tournament at that point.
If they have a certain number, competition. If they do lower than a certain number, exhibition.
Regardless of everybody's opinion, I have to imagine if you had 3 male to female trans people, and those are the 3 athletes in the Olympics that physically qualified to even be at the Olympics, nobody would take that seriously. I mean, you might be rooting for
You
it.
have to start somewhere. So I just Googled it. The very first Olympics that allowed women wasn't until 1900.
That's recent.
And
That's like that. To be honest with you, I feel like that's like I would have expected it to be even later than that, knowing like how it was.
So that's what I'm getting to. So it was 1900, and they were only allowed to compete in things that could still be feminine. So they were allowed to compete in tennis. And there was only 22 women.
Oh.
And let me see if there was
Yeah.
any other sports. They were allowed to compete in tennis, sailing, croquet, horse riding, and figure skating.
I'm sorry, croquet. Oh, that's the one where you hit the balls. That's different than.
Where you hit
Yeah.
the ball.
I was
basically
like, they
anything
really
you
had these
can
people
still wear
knit.
Not crochet. Croquet.
Croquet, yeah.
It
And
started
so,
out
and
as
there
a
was
sports
only
Oh,
right?
okay,
22
croquet.
of them, and what I'm looking at right now doesn't break down who was in
24
what.
total.
So, yeah,
Okay.
22 total. So you have
Start across
to
all the
start
events available. Yeah.
somewhere. You
Yeah.
have to start somewhere. Whether or not it's taken seriously the first year or the next time, you have to start. Not wanting to start it because it won't be taken seriously because of low numbers is not a reason to not start it. You have to start.
And I don't think the numbers would be that low.
I don't think so either.
There's enough humans on the planet. I mean,
Yeah, well, okay, and while I agree with that possibility that the numbers wouldn't be that low, the amount of outrage from people who weren't accepted because of
Daniel.
a certain thing or whatever,
He's in chat against him.
or the people who would be dicks about there being trans people in the Olympics,
There's dicks
You know,
about
A lot of people who
gay
support it.
people.
trans people
being in
existing at all. Yeah,
There's-
I know,
Donna.
There's dicks about black people being
I know,
in the Olympics.
but they would become.
There-
And I'm not
Still?
I'm again.
Yes.
I'm not.
yes.
I'm not fighting saying we should not do it. I'm just pointing out. I'm pointing out thought processes that I know these people who are already assholes will be more vocal because now
But
we've
we
made an event
shouldn't-
for them,
we shouldn't
and
hold
that
back
that
and
shouldn't stop us.
because of the-
I
the
agree. It should not stop
aliens.
us.
Yeah.
I don't want you to think that I disagree
Right.
with you, Rosa. Please, you're getting upset, and I can see it in your body language.
Akova's mentioning that modern
None of
Olympics,
us are disagreeing with you.
that modern Olympics started in the 1900s. That's true. Didn't we pick it back up after like a lot of years of not knowing it existed?
Yo, I think we should all just go back in time and everyone should just be naked again. I think that'd be better.
Right, Iron? It was
Yeah.
only men,
I
and
wanna
they could
see-
only
I
be
wanna see-
nude.
I
Not
want
even
to see
being
those.
perverted.
I
Look it up.
want to see dicks flapping around in the
1894,
120.
the French Baron Pierre de, I can't pronounce that, refunded the Olympics game during Congress. Blah,
After
blah,
how many
blah,
years?
Blah, blah. Huh?
Yo, I want to see dicks flapping around in the wind, dude. Oh, that's what I want to see. Running that 100-meter race, that'd be amazing.
Because that's an
Spectacular
interesting idea. If they dates and locations, yeah, it only starts at 1896, and you're saying 19. So it was basically the next Olympics where women were allowed.
Yeah.
Because anything before that was in Greece.
But
How
like
many
I said,
thousands
it
years
was
ago?
still only 22 of them, and they were basically only allowed to compete in things, and they had to wear skirts down
Yeah.
to their mid calves.
It makes me think of
So they
the
were-
what was the 1920s? Flappers.
Right. So they were wearing
age.
skirts all the way down to their mid calf. Look at where your mid calf is. Would you like to play tennis in that?
My
Hell
sister
yeah.
still plays tennis.
That would definitely hold you back.
Like
I'd be
mid
I'd
calf.
be
Oh, that's the
bro
lower
playing on
part,
sleep
isn't it?
over, dude.
Yeah.
I'd be
Oh,
like,
shit,
I'd be
yeah.
like,
Yes.
pretending to be in a sleeping bag, dude. It'd be like a sleeper for you. Also.
Interesting. I like the angle in chat.
Victoria, yeah.
Combining sports where there is no physical advantage, like target practice. Men wouldn't have
Yes.
any advantage, or chess,
Well, like,
or
In
horseback
high
riding.
school, it's not
Horse riding, an Olympic
separated
sport.
by sex. It's separated by weight class.
But beach volleyball, they can wear whatever they want. Okay, they don't need to wear those little bikini outfits.
Yeah,
that
they
they
don't.
do.
They choose to.
Cause
If
it's-
I
you look
have
at beach
no
volleyball-
opposition to that attire whatsoever. It's a personal favorite sport of mine and my dad's,
I'd
but
rather see a bit more
they don't
leather,
need to
but
wear that.
yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
don't.
If you look at beach volleyball and like
They
the
could wear a
Olympics,
full body spandex catsuit for all I give a shit.
Dude,
Well,
I'm in
they
full
Olympics,
sport
they
practice.
do. They wear the like Nike sports. What are they called? Burkas. They are completely covered and they do play, but it's fitted.
Wait, who?
They're
What's that? What's that outfit that the guys who do the luge? What's that fucking spandex thing that the onesie they wear?
Oh, the fucking leotard.
Put every Olympic event, everybody in the Olympics doing anything has to wear one of those.
And however you may feel about an
Let's go.
Olympic outfit for like the lady volleyball players, you get a lot of heat out of sweat off your body wearing that little clothing. Like, it is, there's a reason they wear that. I mean, they're in the hot sun playing volleyball.
Yeah, some of the Egyptian
Might
Olympic
be where Iron's
volleyball
focus
teams
is, but
are Muslim,
Yeah.
and the ones that are Muslim, they are fully covered. They wear Nike makes them like a sports hijab. So like think of like bathing suit material. So it's nice and breathable, but it
Moisture
keeps
wicking.
them covered. Yes.
That works.
let's see if I can get a picture of that. No, not shopping. I'm not. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it just goes around their head, covers their hair. No, it goes all the way down. Oh, look at that. I could switch to this so people aren't totally confused. There you go. I think this is what Donna's talking about. You can see all the way down to her knees or ankles.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can
They
get
look like
done with that.
That
Yep.
works.
Iron's over here pulling up his waistband. Like, yeah, I think we can work with
No,
this.
he doesn't wear that. So like, so I looked it up because specifically it was the Egyptian team that some of their members are Muslim, so they wear the hijab, and then the rest of them just wear like the full whatever, and their hair is out.
Yeah.
Dude, I spray paint my whole body. It's one color, so it looks like I'm wearing something, but I'm actually not. So that's
You should be the green man.
I've been
yeah.
body
Could you imagine going bright green and they don't allow it? Because like any green
Dude, why
screen
not?
work they do, you would just be
Like, gotta
visible.
get out the blue
a-
screen
a-
now
a
for
floating-
Iron.
Just a floating face, dude. That'd be amazing. Oh, shit. It's like, so how did you feel about this race?
Green
I see
man. No hype emote
Oh.
yet? I'm 3 members short. We lost one
Reese-
yesterday. I'll drop the link in
Reese's
chat.
Puffs.
If anybody wants a hype emote.
My brother bought a green man suit
Oh, good.
years ago
That's great.
and wore it to the St. Patrick's Day festival in Savannah, Georgia,
Mhm.
which is a big fucking like parade of crazy drunk people. And
As they always are.
yeah, he had like 50 different people apparently like on the street as he was, partying up and down the street, going from bar to bar. Like had 50 different people like fucking kiss him and stuff, and I had like big lipstick prints all over his face and everything of the thing. So it was just a green suit with red lipstick spots all over its face.
Dude, where do I sign up? Holy shit.
Ridiculous.
Where can I get in on that?
Super ridiculous.
I mean, I don't think they're
You
that.
can buy a green man suit off of Amazon right now. They're like doing
I
like
don't get
$20.
I just want to get fucking kids.
I wonder if dicktowels.com is still up.
What?
Dick towels? I
Yeah.
think it is. Yeah, Kitten Mittens is up.
Dicktowel.com.
Hear me?
It's not leading anywhere.
Dick beanies.
Kitten Mittens is up.
Oh,
Oh.
I watched
Or at least it was
Yeah,
last I checked.
Google does an autofill. Look at that. I'm pretty sure I can't show this on stream, but
Oh, don't do that.
I
Yeah.
watched the most adorable video today.
these are "It's
so-
Always Sunny in Philadelphia" quotes, by the way. So that's where all this randomness is coming from. We just went on to Kitten Mittens and Dick Towel from Green Man, and I'm sure anybody who hasn't seen the show is completely
went-
lost in the woods.
We went from transgenders in
Yeah.
the Olympics to dick towels. I can't play into
You're
this.
great.
Gotta let the
It's a
thread
good
follow.
range
You know?
of content shown.
I like the Olympics. I look forward to it. Sad they postponed. I'd assume postpone, not cancel, but I don't know.
Who knows at this point?
It's hard to. Well, I don't know, because it's every 2 years, right? So,
Well, a lot of them,
It's every 4 years.
Well,
For,
It's every 4 years.
but like
winter.
summer.
but
So
there's
it's
the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics. Yeah.
So that's
But,
what I mean. Like, you have a extra summer winter every year. You could easily make up, I would assume. I mean, easily make up. Like,
Yeah.
probably.
like I know what I'm talking
Where was
about.
it? Was it supposed to be Hong Kong or something this year?
I don't know.
Yeah, something like
Why
that.
don't I just enter on the Google machine, huh? Olympics
I'm
2020.
going to.
That's it. Just auto-filled sports. I don't care about new Olympic sports 2020. This is gritdaily.com first result. It's just 5 new sports have been added to the Tokyo Games coming up in 2020.
Tokyo.
Tokyo. There
Typical
you go.
American. Tokyo and Hong Kong are the same thing. I didn't question it. I don't know. The last 3 sports mentioned can all be classified. Okay, I don't care
No.
about the new sports, but
Hong Kong is China. Tokyo is Japan.
what I'm saying
Two
is
very different places.
Well, hopefully
No, I
not
know.
that was my
China.
typical American jab.
Wait, what did you say? Did you say Tokyo? Wait, what did you say?
Tokyo.
Yeah, what about it?
It's a country in Asia.
It's not in China.
The capital of Japan.
It's not in China. Yeah.
No.
I guessed that the Olympics were in Hong Kong. It turned out it was Tokyo.
Which is
And
different.
Beast was like, "Yeah, same thing," jokingly.
That typical American can't tell the
and
difference.
then I clarified.
Wait, can
I got
Beast,
kicked out of a mom's group once for going off on some bitch who said Chinese and Japanese were the same thing.
You got kicked? Wow. I
Not
think
if
your
you ask
reaction might have
Chinese,
caused more of a
Japanese.
disturbance
Oh,
than her
God.
mix-up.
It's a good
They
read.
were they had posted some characters, like some writing, right? And they were trying to figure out what
Kanji?
kind of writing it was. Yeah.
Tokyo's the
Whatever.
one for the Fast and Furious.
And it was I forget which one it was. It was either Chinese or it was Japanese. And someone had like incorrectly identified it and I like had corrected them. And then they told me, same thing.
Yeah.
I'm-
It's like,
two
no, bitch,
completely
it's not.
languages.
I'm sure Tokyo and what's the other one? China both thank you for your efforts in defending them.
Tokyo and
Well-
China.
Beast.
This is like the other side of the world.
So what?
Tokyo and Hong Kong?
People are not
Or-
going to
I
realize
don't
that
remember.
while I do not look super Chinese. This is my This is like my culture.
I more or less forgot that.
Yo, Beast.
I'm back on
That's
board.
why I got pissed. Is
With you,
because
Donna,
this is-
100%.
Can I test Beast geography with one question, please?
No,
I
I've
really
already
wanna-
tested it.
I want to see if you want.
I filled out your European map, and I only got 25 of them wrong, okay?
No, you didn't. Shut up.
Those
okay,
are just the
so
Asian
still not
countries.
what? Do you know what the capital of China is?
China as a whole has a
Yeah.
capital.
Yes. Guess. Do you know what it is?
Beijing.
Yeah. Holy shit! I didn't think you know
Sorry,
that.
I thought we were still in the Olympic Games. That's the only one I know. Any other Chinese city besides Hong Kong, which is currently in its own little uprising, so it's kind of not right now, is outside of my scope.
You
The
are
whole
so
country has a
American.
capital. Does America have a capital? I
Yes,
guess Washington D.C., but that's kind of like a territory, so it's like it's
Are
not
you
really
serious? Beast? Are you joking?
Every country has
Are
a
you
capital.
are you joking? Oh no.
I had no idea.
No, I don't suck crick.
But how many countries are there? Like 173 or some shit like that?
Ridiculous.
No.
And I'm
there's, like-
supposed to know.
No, you're not supposed to know them. You're just supposed to know that every country has one. That's all. I don't know every capital of every
We
country.
discussed
You know,
this
your
in the
own country has
first-
Yeah,
one.
oh, yeah, I know that obviously, but
in the
it's just-
first part of the podcast. I covered that my interest in history is way before humans got established. All right, like that's where my brain is drawn
Ancient.
to.
Ancient Mesopotamia.
No, we're way before that.
Yeah, when there's just nothing to know about. There's
Oh,
just-
are we talking Pangea?
Damn straight.
Wants to know some dinosaur capitals.
I'm over here you're talking about every country as a capital. I'm like, oh yeah. I'll bet you still think about different continents, huh? Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Back in my scope of interest.
Yo.
I mean,
It
you
was
can know
the
two
continent.
things,
One.
like,
I
Capital.
identify as 2 billion years old. Okay.
No,
Oh,
no, we're not going to start that.
the line has been
transphobic
drawn.
language. I will fight you.
Oh, come on.
No, you.
I'm not
So
allowed
when people
humor.
are like, I
There you
identify,
go.
it's because they are mocking trans people, and while it's kind of a meme, it's a hurtful meme.
Uh-huh.
Because when people are like, I identify, it's transphobic language. Honestly,
I don't think it is.
It was satire.
I think it's just a joke. I think if you can't take a joke about that, then that's just like I
If
fucking
you
I make gay jokes to Jaffe all the time. He doesn't give a shit. Why should be any different? I don't see the problem. I think it's just because it's I don't know.
so the jokes you make with your friends, and the language that's hurtful to an entire group of people is different.
Well, when he's not saying it to
Yeah.
everyone else, he's just saying it to his own Discord, which is I'm assuming we're all friends here. So you know.
But he's not saying it to just his Discord. This is something that's being broadcast. We're talking about putting it on Spotify. It's hurtful language.
I don't think it is.
And my rainbow bearing ass,
I think it's
My
very
thing-
clearly satire.
you can believe that all you want, but you don't really have a dog in this fight.
I do actually. I think I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Have you not noticed all the different transgender emotes?
The
that
rainbow in his username on our
uses all the time?
Discord. His affinity for not men, or I mean not women, other way around. The fact that
Not me. Not me.
he's not really.
I think that's
But
big.
what does
think
that have to
Iron.
do?
I think Iron is fully qualified to have a say in equal rights stuff. Like the fact that he's part of a culture of people who have been shit on for their beliefs, for their choices, for being who they are.
Krisho, do you have a list, please?
Yeah, I would argue that derailing all of this did more harm than my quick satire. Is the kind of thing where if you can't make a joke and nobody can talk about it in any possibly negative light, then it's not gonna flourish.
I identify as a
quick one-liner, quick satire,
whatever started to be just okay. All right.
I agree with
Go
Rolla
off.
here.
I don't know.
I've heard that joke enough times, and it's not that.
I did this in my stream the other day too, where somebody tried to convince me that I am not allowed to joke about some things that are offensive to that person individually, and I don't know. One of those things. I don't know. It depends on who you're talking to, I suppose.
Show list, please.
Iron's like, no, save me. What do you got there, Iron?
This.
Is that your first one?
Yeah.
You've been nursing it, I see. Is that warm at this point?
No, I have 2 empty bottles here, and 2 more over there. But I mean, fine. Don't worry about it.
The quarantine life is suiting you.
No, I hate it. I'm going back to work tomorrow. I have to wake up in 6 hours. Let's go.
Oh, you're back tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, because you tested negative finally, right?
Uh.
Or no?
Yeah. Let's say I tested negative.
Do you
Let's
haven't tested
say.
negative? You're go back to work.
It's been 2 weeks now. I didn't have any symptoms for that. I'm more than qualified to go back to work.
Interesting.
I guess if they say it's cool, but didn't they tell you you couldn't go to work even like before you had even tested? When you just had a fever, they were like, "No, you have to get tested."
That was because they wanted to know if they wanted to wait till it's negative, and then it was positive. So they said, "Okay, stay in for 7 days." And I was like, "Okay." And then after that 7 days, I had the shit, so I had to stay in for another 7 days. And then so now it's 7 days up, so I get to go back to work. So
Is the shits a symptom? Do I need to know?
Yeah, it is actually. It was.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's not very common, but yeah, they said it's been like it has been.
It's a possible symptom, yeah.
Gotcha.
2 weeks is...
Akova said it's the UK. They're known for drinking warm beer.
No, I'm not. I hate beer.
Well, they're also known. The UK, just in general, is known for drinking warm beer, but they're also known for drinking actual real beer. Not the piss water we have here in America. So
we have some good beers here.
Hey, drinking most things at room temperature is better for body absorption. So if you want to get wasted, don't have a cold beer. Have a room temperature beer. Your body's gonna absorb it better.
Have a boiling temperature beer.
It's like the opposite.
Boiling temperature.
Yeah, dude, that'll fucking get
Was
you
that
going.
the thing about the proper way to eat ramen or whatever? It's just like eat the brick, snort the flavor packet, and then drink the boiling water.
That's so gross.
It's all going to the same place.
Middle school, did you guys have kids that would crunch up the top ramen like dry and put the seasoning on it and eat it like
I know
dry?
adults that do that.
Like it's chips. Yeah.
I don't understand that.
My
like
college roommate used to do that.
the
in middle
textures I've tried because everyone did it, and I would just
Yeah.
We call middle school primary school, and a lot of things that people used to do is so we get a bag of, we call them crisps. I'm gonna say chips just for you guys to say. You get a bag of chips, and you get a sandwich, and you open the sandwich, and you just fucking put all of the chips in the sandwich. Like that.
makes sense
That was
to
a
me.
lot of people. A lot of people do that. That was good shit. That was good shit.
Crunching up noodles. It's just dried noodles.
Yeah.
And then why?
I always gave him a disappointed look whenever I saw him doing that. It's like, no, why?
By people
We have a
say
microwave in
that-
this room.
heating up SpaghettiOs is optional. No.
Oh, yeah. I'll eat SpaghettiOs cold. But that's
I'll eat them
different
cold
than
too. That's fine.
dry,
Yeah,
crunchy noodles, I
it's
think.
not like dry.
Oh.
It's a survival situation, dude. Like if you
I've
can't
eaten
eat-
a lot of MREs, and I've eaten most every single one of them cold. And
Right,
those
it's not
SpaghettiOs
worth
are the
it.
exact same thing as.
There was
Yeah.
a janitor in our school lunchtime one time that was just slopping everything on his plate. Bigger guy. And she was like, "Oh yeah, you're not even gonna split it up." He's like, "Ah, it's all going to the same place." And I was like, "Oh." Like this dude was just trying to
doesn't mean those
refuel.
flavors go together.
Mm.
Oh,
Now, in fairness, that was a day of like bread and turkey
Yeah.
stew kind of thing. Like it was, he didn't have a bad combo going on, but like he put his beans right on top, mashed potatoes, so it was a good combo on that given day. But that is not a logic that applies everywhere. Like that was so gross to me. It's like, what do you
I'm
mean?
a little OCD
No,
about my
I,
food, and I mean like literally certain foods like can't touch, and I have to have certain foods with certain foods, or else the world is ending. Hi, Mama Beast.
Why are you wearing that university shirt?
I'm on Beast.
You're not
Hi.
going to that one. Oh, everybody's
No,
saying hello.
Everybody say hi. What are you guys doing?
As far as SpaghettiOs goes,
You guys should see how cute our cat is right now.
I want to see how cute the cat
We've
is right
got
now.
a Beast family interruption.
Let me see. Oh,
Kitty, kitty.
so
He's
cute.
awake too, just looking at us like, what are you doing?
Just knows he's cute.
Is any of these fig?
Is any of these SIG? Read the names one by one. You got this.
Where? Where's the names?
The names are on the other thing.
the one waving at you right now.
Just gets to drink
No one ever changes my name. Something funny.
I'm on Beast.
I don't see your face enough to know to recognize you right away.
a nerve machine.
Right? Oh yeah, merch.minerva.gg.
perfectly okay.
Hey, well, we have to go shopping for your birthday now. Bye.
Oh, have fun.
And then you're gonna die.
You have an $800 limit, okay?
No,
I mean minimum.
to to address the SpaghettiOs thing specifically. No,
No.
No?
I don't know.
No what?
just
Now what?
no.
Oh,
No,
in
just-
general,
no.
just never
Just
eat them
all sorts
ever.
of SpaghettiOs.
Oh,
Well, that for one, but no, cold out of the can is not okay with SpaghettiOs.
yes, it is.
Like the mini raviolis, I ate those out of the can. I have no problem with that.
What's the difference?
But SpaghettiOs is what's the difference? SpaghettiOs is mostly sauce. That's
Yeah.
Ah.
SpaghettiOs is basically a soup.
When you're hungry, you're hungry. You eat the SpaghettiOs cold.
No,
Canned
and I
spaghetti, that's what
totally,
it is.
yeah, you can, but should you? No.
I prefer to heat it up anyway. I
It's
feel like
doable.
even if it's pre-cooked, we're gonna give it
The
another
Chef
round.
Boyardee,
Mhm.
the Chef
like-
Boyardee
I've
cans of
seen
spaghetti with
MREs
meatballs.
as well.
I'll eat
They
those.
had
I don't
things
give a shit.
similar to SpaghettiOs and MREs.
Yeah.
And
What is
like
an
Chriselle
MRE?
said, it's a pain in the butt to heat it up. Meals ready
Yeah.
to eat, put them
Oh.
in a box. You eat them when you're in the field or out where
Military
kitchens
rations.
are not.
Yeah.
Who has a
military
minute and a half in a microwave? 8 minutes on the stove for me. I'm not putting that shit in the
So it's
microwave.
these, like, it's not even cans. They're in like packets that you
Yeah,
rip
they're all in
open.
bags.
They're all
And they
in
taste the
bags.
same.
And
Which
yeah,
ones?
and then
Bag
it has
flavors.
this little this bag and this little packet that when you add water, it creates heat. So it kind of
Yeah.
like boils water to heat up your food. And it takes a minute and then that water is gone. So if you're in the field and you're trying to conserve water, it's just a waste. So you just eat that
Mhm.
shit cold.
So what we would do, like we had to stay out in the field for like a month, and we took everything on our backs with us. So what we would do is just like take anything that wasn't food out of the MREs, which included the heaters and like all that sort of stuff. So we didn't even know what was in the packaging or what was in anything. It was just like a giant lump of food in bags, and that was it.
Food in
So-
bags.
Yeah. So I mean, we got to the point like I think it was like I don't know 3 o'clock in the morning one day, and I was in charge for that day or whatever, and I just gotten everyone down in their little patrol and such, and I sat down to eat some food before I went to bed, and I just opened it up. I was like, I can't see anything. I don't even know what I'm eating right now.
Doesn't
And so I was
matter.
just like, huh, this is ravioli. Interesting. It's not the worst thing, but it's not great.
It's cold. It's
Yeah.
dark. It doesn't matter. You're hungry. You
Yeah.
just open it. And just
And then
I'm
I
not-
just fell asleep on my little sleeping bag, which was covered in little roly-polies and ticks, and it was tons of fun.
So I have no play in the military, so I've never been in the military. I mean, my dad was in the army for a little bit as a medic, but that's not the point. Anyway, I don't know if how true this is, but apparently the Americans, you guys have like better MREs than the rest of the world. Like you guys,
I've
you guys
never tried an
Americans
international.
apparently you guys put a lot more like effort into making your MREs more edible.
That is
I think
kind
that's
Yes.
just American food in general.
We just like our sugar.
Well,
That's
we-
what it is.
And
I mean, it's needless to
Yeah,
say
we
that
have- we
everything here is better, just as a blanket statement.
Fuck off. Dickhead.
Like that was
Wow.
decided when we tossed
No,
your
but yeah,
Yeah.
American MREs come with like a little
See,
packet
isn't
of
that my
coffee
backpack?
with sweeteners and stuff. They come with all
Hot
kinds of crap in them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem with them though is there are 50 little packages for you to have to do anything with, whereas military rations in a lot of other countries, there's 3 things. That's it. You got a
But-
bread product, a meat product, and fucking some kind of sauce, maybe.
M&M,
You know, and that's it.
Am I wrong in saying that is if you're in the military, as long as you get calories in you, it doesn't really matter how it tastes, as long as
Yeah.
you're getting
That's
Yeah.
accurate.
It's just about true.
That's generally how the military treats
I remember
it.
one time when I was in training, they needed people to be voluntold to go help out in the kitchen, and I was like, I'll go, because if you were helping the kitchen, you got to pick your food and you got the good food first.
And you got to eat it for like a while, not like 30 seconds.
Oh
Right.
yeah, I was gonna say that as well. I was watching. I am very interested in like kind of videos regarding like the training behind how to get into different militaries. I don't know why. I just find it interesting. And apparently, I don't know
Yeah.
if it's just kind of you guys have like rangers, whatever they're called. I don't know if it's just about them, but apparently you get your food and you have like 30 seconds to eat as much as you can before.
Oh
you
yeah, that's everyone in boot camp. Well,
That's-
Yeah.
not so much.
It was us for like
Yeah.
the first couple of weeks, and
I
then it
get-
got
that's-
normal.
yeah. That's
I get
So-
during
Dude, I get
during
indigestion-
training.
I get indigestion badly. I'd be
Yeah.
screwed.
So
Yeah.
fun factoid again about my time in Marine Corps boot camp. I was underweight. And at the very beginning, I had gotten bronchitis. So I
Big attack.
had to go to the doctors and whatnot. And when I went in there, they before they even checked my breathing, this doctor looked me up and down and was like, "Recruit, how much do you weigh?" And I was like, "Oh, like 108 pounds," because I was really skinny back then. And the
Pretty
nurse behind him looked at me and went, "Soaking wet." And they made me get on the scale. Mind you, I'm there for bronchitis. Like I had fainted and gone to the ER and all that fun stuff. So I was there for a
Yeah.
checkup for my bronchitis. And they're just like, "Scrawny bitch." Made me get on the scale. I was way under. So I was put on something called double ration. That means I had to eat twice as much at every meal than everybody else.
But they
You
didn't
say
give you
health
twice as
stuff.
much time, did they?
They did not give me twice as much time.
No.
So the way it worked, this is 13 years ago now. The way it worked is I had to be at the front of the chow line and I had to start eating as soon as I sat down, because everyone else, usually you wait for everyone to sit down and then you start eating. So I had to be at the front of the line, start eating as soon as I sat down, and then I needed to be up and at the end of the line by the time that it went through, because they wanted me to truly get double rations, not just double scoops. So they,
I didn't. It
So-
wouldn't that be like that?
So you had to go through the line twice.
yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Yeah,
also I
that's
have a question.
crazy.
So, once you finish eating, what?
Mhm.
Why do you need to eat so fast? What are you? Are you constantly what are you doing? most of
Constantly
the time?
For boot
What,
camp,
Yeah.
what
for
kind of stuff are you doing about
the
while
first
training?
It's training
4 or
you for
5
doing things quickly as well. and
Yeah, no,
just
but
the
what kind
discipline
of
of
stuff would
that.
you be doing after you've eaten? What would you be doing? Because maybe if you
directly
Oh,
after eating, sometimes they make you PT and then everyone would puke.
yeah, I was
But
gonna
most of
say,
the time they teach you some sort of class, be it basic medical training or some sort of military history or gun stuff. There's so
Yeah.
many things you have to learn other than just physicalities when you go
gun
to boot
stuff.
camp.
Sounds so American.
Well,
Guns.
I know gun stuff. Well, because you're learning the different parts of the
Your
weapon
military
before
doesn't
you
know how to
ever
operate
even.
weapons, you're not going to do very well.
Oh, I know. I just that's just the way that.
No, I
works.
mean
They
you
don't
can
just,
know
like, throw
nothing
a gun
and
at
they
you
teach
and
you.
True.
tell you to-
Yeah. I mean, you can go there knowing
Go!
absolutely.
Why did you put that weapon together so fast?
They'll
Because you
teach
told
you.
me to. Drill
They'll teach
sergeant.
I need a rewatch of Fair.
I love
God,
Forrest
Forrest
Gump, dude.
fucking-
Fucking
I'm
Forrest
blanking.
Gump. dude.
Sorry, Chriselle.
Forrest.
I'm very
okay.
sorry.
Yeah, like Chriselle was just saying, you can go there knowing absolutely nothing, and they teach you everything. They actually prefer people who have never shot a gun before, because people who have never shot before are easier to teach.
They don't have
People
any
who
bad
have shot
habits.
before,
You don't have to unlearn bad habits.
Mhm.
And I had
People
to
who, like-
unlearn those bad habits.
Don't need to break them down. You just need to build them up.
Yeah.
I could be a great drill sergeant. I know all this.
No, you wouldn't. What the fuck?
Mm-mm.
I feel like I could be a great
You
drill
have to
sergeant.
be above. You have to be 6 foot or up.
Oh,
No,
I'm
you
out.
don't.
Joe, it's a joke.
I had a drill
No, you
sergeant.
do not. Have you seen Arlie Ermy?
I've seen a lot of short.
You know who Arlie Ermy is?
Yeah.
No.
Didn't he
That-
pass away
The
recently?
little drill sergeant guy from Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just taking the piss out of Beast.
I didn't know they stack shit that high.
I was just calling Beast short. That's all.
Yes.
No offense, Beast.
But
Love-
Arlie Ermy was probably like 5'3", 5'4", something like that.
Was
He's
I
a
didn't
little
realize
dude.
that.
How
I should
tall are you,
watch
Sig? I
Forrest Gump
forgot.
on Discord.
Sig, how tall are you? I forgot.
How much? 6 foot.
Okay. How about you, Sean?
I'm
Forrest
5'9".
Guy.
Fuck yeah, I'm tallest one here. Let's go.
Yeah,
I-
Forrest Gump catches me in the right mood. The end of that movie is.
I watched it for the I watched it a jillion years ago, and then I watched it for the first time again a few years ago, the first time as an adult, and it hit me in the feels. It probably extra hit me in the feels because I watched it while my husband was deployed, so I was like, but yeah,
Where did your husband
didn't-
deploy?
what?
Where did he deploy?
This was a few years ago,
Yeah.
and he was deployed to Afghanistan.
Was this like around the time where it was
Appar-
more about like kind of less I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't as much constant firefights, it was more about training people. Would that
This was 2013, and there were still lots of
Okay.
things going on.
I don't know how
Yeah.
I just don't know if it was Donald Trump that said it or someone who said it, but they're trying to make it so that they're focusing more efforts into training the Afghanistan people into actually fighting for themselves rather than fighting for them, kind of thing. I don't know how true that is.
I just checked. I just fact checked, and I retract my earlier statement. Arlie Ermy was 6 feet tall.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I didn't get the impression that he was short.
In
So
in the movie Full Metal Jacket, I got the impression that he was short.
Are you sure?
Of course,
Are you
Vincent
sure?
Everyone else
D'Onofrio
is
like
really-
towered over him, as far as I remember.
I guess all the
Yeah.
recruits were just like monster size.
Crickris
I
ate
think so.
shrimps today, and Forrest worked on a shrimp boat. The conspiracy is forming.
Cricket's Forrest Gump confirmed.
Oh,
have you ever been to a Bubba Gum restaurant?
I have. There's one in Galveston, and it's fun.
I was always curious the relation to that. Did they just name him Forrest Gump and then do that for fun? Where did Bubba
mean-
Gump come from?
It was
Uh,
Bubba and Forrest
I mean,
fucking
Bubba
Griffiths
Gump
when they were-
is the
What
character.
came first, the movie or the restaurant?
Oh,
Definitely
What?
the movie.
the restaurant came after
The
the movie.
entire restaurant is based off of that
I gotta-
movie.
I don't know anything about the restaurant. I just know that there are Forrest Gump shoes outside of it, the
Yeah,
Mall of America. That's all I got.
You should go check it out. It's
Bubba-
expensive.
Bubba Gump
Very
shrimp.
expensive.
Bubba Gump Shrimp was because of Bubba and Forrest Gump
That's
in the
awesome.
movie Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And
And actually, that was the place that we had dinner at when we visited the Mall of America. And it's good.
was Bubba
but
Gump.
It is expensive. Yeah, we went to Bubba Gump.
Never
Shrimp.
really been into
Yeah.
shrimp, so I never even had the inclination to try it. I've walked
They
by
have
that.
everything except shrimp.
There's always some poor fucker in a shrimp suit outside that place all day. It's
Well, when I visit you, we will go there and we will have shrimp, and you will
I don't
try
want
it,
shrimp.
and you will enjoy it.
mm-mm.
There's other things besides.
Okay, I will have shrimp, and you will try some.
Yeah. Have you ever had? I mean, have you ever had prawns? I don't know how common they are. in
I mean,
America,
any
I don't know.
excuse to
That's
go to the mall, I'll
they're-
be fine.
They're
Make
like
sure my
mini
phone's
shrimp,
charged.
aren't they?
They're
so-
within the same range. Shrimp
They're
and
just
prawns are
like-
within the
I would
same.
say prawns aren't as crunchy. I don't know how much I don't know that.
This is how I go to the
They
mall.
also
I,
have
They don't
great
have as much.
I pull out my phone and play Pokemon Go, and then
Yeah,
do like
kind of.
2 or 3 more laps than necessary to get to wherever we're going.
Well,
Like, oh,
no,
we
yeah,
just
so
passed it. Oh,
Mhm.
it's fine. It's too much to turn back. We'll just do another loop.
We'll get there eventually.
I've done that. We've wanted to like get ice cream and be like, oh, wasn't it back there? Ah, just keep going. It's fine. And I'll be spinning every single stop along the way,
Well,
catching
when the
absolutely
pic-
everything.
But they had hot pretzels.
The picture of Chriselle like standing next to Beast is probably one of the most amazing, wholesome images I've ever seen.
Right.
Oh,
It is so cute. It is so cute.
It's funny. It was taken right after we had met up, and like I didn't know how to stand. So the first
Yeah,
comment
no,
was like how my
you-
arms were too far
you
apart. And I was like, I
look-
wasn't
you
even
look
thinking
like
about my
you're probably-
arms.
Like you were kind of T-posing, and Chriselle just
Yeah.
looked
Right.
Chriselle just looked really happy.
yeah, I
it
wasn't
was-
that happy. I was kind of
You looked very happy. You already
know
get.
what to do with my hands.
I think
He's got a nice smile.
yeah.
You always look happy, is what I'm trying to say. I've never actually been in a voice call with you when you're angry. You don't get angry very much, at least with me. I don't know.
I try not to.
Maybe you're just an
Rosa,
asshole,
you're
like
my favorite out of everyone. Rosa's my favorite out of everyone too.
Sim. No, I'm
I'm
joking.
my favorite.
I think maybe it's because of the cat videos of just Panch and how wholesome.
Oh yeah,
Everything I know about you, Chriselle, is just so wholesome, and it's just all it's so
Thanks.
cute.
It comes up every now and then that Chriselle is the most wholesome,
He
just like the
is.
nicest out of all of us. Like we'll be cranky and we'll be bitching about things, and Chriselle will just be like, "I have a list, guys."
Like when I play Minecraft with Chriselle, when me and Chriselle had this amazing like fucking house on Cthulhu's modest server, instead of trying to confront with something or like just try and defend his point or anything, something happened, he would just say, "That's fair." He was
That's
the most
fair.
passive guy. Couldn't get angry at him. You're so nice, Chriselle. You just can't get angry at you.
Because I want other people to have their point represented clearly and explained, so that's fair.
You just always, you're just so fucking.
I can just imagine
fine.
Iron getting really mad at him one day because Chriselle's just being a pushover, throwing a book at him, and Chriselle going, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I bend your pages?"
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm sorry for
I'd
being.
throw hands if I needed to.
Oh, Chriselle could fucking put him on the floor in like a matter of seconds if he wanted to. if
Yeah.
I was next to him. But like, I don't think he ever would because he's just so kind all the time. I don't know. You'd have to like really piss him off to actually get him to be angry.
Meanwhile, Skulls is saying, "I'm conceited. I'm my favorite."
Oh,
That's
Skulls is his
That's
own
fair.
favorite. It's like total
that's
opposite. That's fair.
Oh, Gano, I wanted to thank you for coming by the Drag Variety Show stream. I really appreciated seeing your name in the chat.
When was that? I missed it.
Saturday.
What time?
It was Saturday at 7 PST, so
I
it
was passed out. Yep.
There you go.
My stream
9.
ended at like 5 or 6 p.m. I could not go a minute longer.
Mm-hmm.
That was
No,
a long
that's-
day.
Is there
That's
stream
fine.
clips of it? So I'll stop by.
I don't think we have VODs up because some people use copyrighted music, so we don't have VOD saved.
Okay.
But if you follow, I think one of the main people made an Instagram, and they're going to be posting clips because
Yeah.
we do have like the performers.
You're a Minerva
perform-
member. You can put it in the Minerva Live Discord section next time.
I
You
just
should.
didn't even think about it. It was our first show,
Mhm.
and we were so excited, and then we were nervous right before because because we're gonna take turns hosting it, being like the actual host
Mhm.
of the content. The person who got to go first, their internet was crapping out right before we went live, so we were trying to come up with a contingency plan. One of the other producers was like downloading the videos to set up their OBS just in case, and like we were scrambling, and so like when we went live, I like forgot to post it places until like an hour in, and then I posted it in some of like my Discords. So I will remember next time. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday we'll be having another one.
If you put it in there, I'll definitely see it.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I just, like I said, everything was crazy and I forgot.
Did you get good viewers? Did you get people coming by?
We did. So it was our
Nice.
first show. Like I said, Gnu was there. We had a few people there. We were bouncing between like 20, 25. I think
Not
we peaked at like
bad.
27.
Very
That's
first
awesome.
stream, so not bad.
That's fantastic for a first. The one I checked in when you said to follow last podcast, they were at 9 followers. I was like, 25 years. That's
Right.
not
We
bad at
didn't-
all.
Right. We didn't get a lot of followers. I think a lot of people who tuned in are not like particularly Twitch savvy. So if any of you guys want to go follow it, but no, it was good. It was really good. So we were doing it for charity.
Drop
Drop the link.
Drop the link in chat right now.
Okay.
Yeah, because that would have been my worst fear, is going to that much effort for production and having 2 people in chat. So
Right.
spreading
We
that
were-
word is really big.
We were very afraid of that.
Early on production quality though is a good thing, because I mean that's a good base to start from.
Oh yeah, speaking of production quality, so the person who was hosting that got to be host first, a drag queen named Velveeta, I love her. We were really nervous about her hosting too because she's never streamed before. She'd never streamed before and she was
Ever.
going first.
Picked a novice for the first.
But she did so like I wish we had the VOD. Like I wish we had recorded it because like the
Well,
day before I
mean,
taught her how to use
stage-
studio. Go ahead.
Stage presence translates pretty well to streaming, doesn't it?
It
Yeah.
does, but like, so she was like engaging
Yeah.
with chat, which a lot of people, when they first start streaming, are like really disconnected from, especially if you're playing pre recorded content, like just
Yeah.
getting through it. And
Yeah.
she did like so amazing. I was so proud of her. I was so proud with her. Like, I showed her how to use studio mode in OBS like the day before,
What's
Mhm.
studio
and
mode?
she like fiddled with it. It's for transitioning scenes.
Ah,
Did you not know about studio?
never used it.
It hogs your
Well, you don't
CPU
really
so
do like
fucking much.
fancy transitions. You
No,
usually-
I tried to use it once in Modern Warfare, but
Everybody in
because
chat
Modern
ready
Warfare
for this
already eats,
transition? Oh,
because Modern Warfare already eats so much of my CPU, I literally could not run it without fucking dropping frames. It's annoying.
Gotcha.
so that's just so you can set up the next scene before you swap over.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Right.
pretty cool.
That works.
I've never
Right.
done that.
So she like didn't mess up any of the transitions. It went perfect. And so we do these streams for charity. We're raising money for different charities, usually queer centric. I mean, I say usually, but we've only had one. And we managed to raise like $200, which was twice as much as I was hoping for.
Yeah.
So I was excited, as
That's
you
awesome.
can tell, as I babble on and on about
Mhm.
it.
It'd
I
be
didn't
more
mean to babble
fun
this much about it. I just wanted
more
to shout
every
out.
week, you know?
Yeah.
Build it up.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing to
Well,
have fun
that-
with.
And what day of the week is it again?
It's every
Saturdays.
other Saturday, so it's not
Oh,
this
every
Saturday, but next Saturday.
Every
Every
other Saturday.
Fortnite.
Okay.
It's a Fortnite
Oh,
joke.
Lord.
Stop.
I used the word Fortnite.
Oh my god! But what were you saying? Sid?
Sorry.
No, I was just wondering when, and it was every other Saturday. What time of day?
7 Pacific time, 10 Eastern time. So I guess that's 9 Central.
Sig, you should do Fortnite every fortnight. Like every 2 weeks, play Fortnite.
I'd
think
watch
that's
they
a
play
solid
Fortnite,
no.
Yeah, I would love to watch
Or
Sig plays
I
Fortnite, that'd be
I
amazing.
could not.
Sig,
Or-
this is
No, hear me
premium
out,
pun
hear me out
potential.
Hear me out. You should.
What?
This is
I
pun
think-
potential right here.
Yeah,
Dude,
but
Fucking Sig playing Fortnite is such a
There's-
fucking. Oh, that's amazing. I think that was just so. That was
Yeah,
so
no.
well.
He's just pretending to think about it.
Also- no,
What?
he's
Oh,
I'm not fucking
Considering
playing
playing
Fortnite. Fuck
Fortnite.
that game. I hate that game. No, I'm not.
I know.
I hate that game. It'll never happen.
yeah, I wouldn't
Oh,
want to
that's
talk about
cheap.
Fortnite here. The update
What
tomorrow
time is
is
the update tomorrow?
unannounced. I'm checking the update. I don't know. Did Magis do anything on Reddit? I love this. So to get Fortnite updates, I need to go to their community manager's Reddit account. Fuck yeah.
Right.
Good shit. Good shit. And a lot of times it's not even announcements. It's a response to an individual's thread.
Right. So you have to like go into this
Yeah.
user and
We
look
have
at their...
found pertinent data, like information on whether or not a weapon's going to re-release based on Magis responses to people's comments on other people's threads. Fucking mind-blowing. Why you wouldn't tell us? Like, this isn't even something they could screw up. Just tell us it's coming back out. How could that plan change? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ooh,
random ADD back to their regular Q stream. I was also really excited because no one hated like the stream setup because I did all those graphics and I was
Nice.
afraid someone was going to hate them because so it's called a
Nice
regular Q. So the initials for it are IQ. So I was like, nerdy stuff. And so
He's
I
a
made
really
everything like a
Big
classic.
IQ plays is this the most prominent thing on the screen?
But yeah, I was excited.
That's a good pun. I'm glad. Good job, Beast. Yeah, no. For me especially, because I like to stream during updates and whatnot. For me, sometimes it is as though I am getting my work schedule from that kind of rabbit hole. Like, imagine not knowing when you're going to work on a given day. You have to go through your boss's response to another person's text inside of a group chat that you need to scroll up. It's fucking insane. I have his account bookmarked
before.
You've gone through that before?
Well, I mean, with the certain manager at a past job I had a while ago, where it was all the information for the next day's worth of work was all secondhand, and I didn't stay at that place too long.
You have to hear about it from someone else.
I've had that issue before of what is my actual scheduling and not knowing till the day of, basically, and stuff like that. Yeah.
I hate that when I work at
imagine how difficult that is for somebody working in a restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
It goes crazy for me on stream because people ask me these questions. They want to know about upcoming updates that I have to. I don't know. I don't know. They don't tell us anything.
When I worked at
the other
Build-A-Bear,
worst part
they'd
is
have on-call shifts. I'm not a fucking nurse. What do I need to be on call for at Build-A-Bear?
What are we gonna do?
Build what the fuck could you be on call for at Build-A-Bear?
Yeah.
Right, and I didn't.
No,
I
but
didn't
I had months there at the Bent Rod, that restaurant I was working at until recently. I had months where I was scheduled for 20 hours, 30 hours throughout the week, and I never worked any of those hours specifically. It was always extra hours around them, including those hours, all kinds of crap. Like, because people called out all the time, and I was the only reliable person they could call in.
How's it gone with your bitchy boss?
So, yeah. I haven't spoken to him about how he talked to me yet.
So
but he did message me the other day and asked me if I was going to be available this past Saturday, and I told him no, go ahead and get it covered because I'm not going to be able to make it. And then I mentioned that I'm probably going to end up going to the doctor, and if it turns out that I need surgery, I'm going to get surgery, whatever. And he didn't respond to that very much at all, and then said, well, if you need to have someone cover Thursday, this person's available, and you don't have to worry about this upcoming Saturday because it'll be 4th of July and we'll be closed. So I don't,
It's like you're an on or off switch. Either you're working or you're not, and he just could not care less the reason that switch is being flicked.
People's only value is they just see.
No, I feel like he's waiting to actually talk to me face to face about how he acted toward me.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last time something like this came up before between us, that was when it was addressed was in person rather than over the phone or over a text or something.
Yeah.
So hopefully, he has intention of saying, look, dude, sorry, I was a dick or something, but as it stands right now, I'm still frustrated with him. And I'm just, I don't get it. Like, you shouldn't treat me like that because I'm hurt. Like, what the fuck?
That's fair. What,
Some
any
people
expectations for my
travel
birthday?
For the stupidest reasons. I had a manager that hated me because I dated tall guys.
That's a reason?
What a bitch, dude.
It's not,
And she hated me because I'm like 5'1", 5'2", and I was dating 6 feet tall people. And her reasoning was because she was 5'9", and that short girls steal the tall guys.
There's no earthly way I could fathom that this is her only reason for hating you.
No, she
you did
was
steal the tall guys, though, didn't you?
I stole.
You did do it.
all the tall guys. Just,
I mean,
just all of them.
Guy in the world.
All of this.
Donna's body count was in the hundreds.
Everything the sun, everything.
not another tall guy she could.
Every tall guy that walked by our
stole.
stop, just. instantly dated me.
Nope, that one's mine.
It was
Every
like that
day.
Onion article
Touches yours.
of teen pregnancies raised by 39% because of Cody.
Because of one impressive youth.
One fucking guy. It might have not been 39%, but it was like
How tall is Cody again?
No, it's a different Cody. I
Different-
think we've had an overlap. Ender, he's like 6'1" or 2. I'm sure he'd proudly fucking tell you. Tag him or Ira. They'll let you know immediately.
I don't know
Tall
if
guys
I'm
like to
taller.
talk about it.
But yeah, no, some people just want to be hateful. They just want to be hateful.
Sometimes you just gotta let it
Yeah.
be what it do.
Well,
And I mean, I talk a lot of shit,
like I said,
but I'm not
Huh?
I'm not
That's the best part.
particularly mad at him because I kind of understand because he was in a bind and he was having a really shitty day and it just kind of really fucked his day up even more. But
Yeah.
he, you know, for him to talk to me that way because I'm
Oh.
hurt was fucked up to me.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
I know what it was
So-
about. Oh, you're talking about this, yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
I was
feel really
a
bad.
lot kinder as a kid. Where like I always felt bad for everybody in that way. But like nowadays, I don't care. There's a part of me that thinks like no matter how stressed out you are, there is a certain age where you just don't talk to someone like that.
I don't know if it's just about his age. I think it's in the position he's in. He shouldn't be speaking to people like that at all.
That
If he's your
too.
fucking manager, like I mean, my manager compared to Sig's manager, it's like night and day. Like my manager.
No. He's the business owner for one.
So is mine.
For two,
Right.
he is a friend. I consider him a friend.
right.
Yeah.
right.
And to address what's being said in the chat there, I hope you're sure your boss doesn't watch the stream. I told him to watch it. I don't give a shit. I'd tell him all this stuff to his face.
Now on the other
I
hand,
started to, and he cut me off all the day. you
I
know,
am
so-
aware that people
whatever.
are only human. So if you have a reaction like that,
Yeah.
an adult follow-up is what would follow, which is what Sig's expecting anyway, and I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll
Yeah.
level
And that's
with each other.
what I expect. Is because we are friends, and because he's he knows he has
Adult.
bad days and whatnot. You know, I'm sure that he'll end up having a conversation with me later on down the line and in person, and be like,
Mm.
"Look, dude, I was a dick. Sorry, man." You know, and that'll smooth everything over. I'll be fine. You know,
Yeah.
but as
I've
it
been-
stands right now, that hasn't happened, and I'm still
I've
kind
been
of
doing that in
frustrated about it.
chat recently, where I've had
When-
like there was like I think I've fixed it by now, but there was a good 8-day stretch in the recent weeks where I just could not get more than 4 hours at a time, and I was snapping at people in chat. I mean, some people annoyed me a lot, and a lot of people are being disrespectful, but there was a point where I just stopped giving a shit, and it
How long did this go on for? How long did you get 4 hours of sleep a day for?
was like 8 days.
8 days.
I mean, I'd be like 4 hours down, and an annoying 5 minutes up, and then I'd be down for another 2 hours, and be up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Wait, you're talking about 4 hours of sleep?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. That's
How
a
much
week.
sleep does normal people get?
I don't get normal sleep. So when I was like for the past month, for the first month, well, before I was off for 2 weeks, I was getting around to 3 hours of sleep a day.
7 to 10
during
hours until your
the
body
week-
cleans.
Studies
I think.
studies indicate. Yeah, studies indicate that the average person functions best on 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night.
Oh, I wasn't saying I was functioning.
The problem with
properly,
that-
I said that's what I was getting.
Rosa asked. But the problem with that is most Americans, as far as I understand, I don't know the worldwide statistic, but most Americans run on 6 to 8 hours of sleep rather than 8 to 10.
Yeah.
And
Which I
there are
don't-
a fair number of us, myself included, that run on about 4.
Which I don't know where
Yeah.
you got your
Every day.
statistic, but I thought 6 to 8 was perfectly fine for adults.
Yeah, it is.
That 8 to 10 is really
It
more
is-
for
it is
adolescents.
It kind of
acceptable,
it depends on everyone individually. So I was asking this because I was talking to one of my doctors about how a medication was affecting my sleep, and I was only getting like 4 hours, and he was like, "Oh, well, what do you normally get?" And I was like, "Haha, like 5." And I was like, "Is that okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, if 5 is what you run on, that is what is okay for you. But knocking an hour off that probably not great. So we'll address this problem." But yeah, so like,
Yeah.
normally
Well,
5.
the 8 to 10 was a worldwide average, apparently, from 20 some years ago when I was first told about all this shit.
No,
Yeah,
right.
so, I mean,
there's
that-
some
that
people
may
that
be
sleep,
completely
like for like
different now,
11 fucking
with
hours.
the
and I'm like,
advent of
that's half
screen
your day.
time.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I sleep. I'm
Yeah.
not the only one who has these sleep as little as. I'm glad I sleep the same as Sig. Like I don't need to sleep. I don't like sleeping. I find it really boring. I hate sleeping.
Yeah, my mother runs on about 4 hours of sleep a night also. So It's just a
during the
natural thing
week,
in our family.
I normally get like 5 hours of sleep because I wake up at like 4:20 in the morning and then I go to work and come
Specifically.
back at 1:30. Yes, I have my alarm set to like maximize the amount of time that I can spend sleeping, and then I just go straight to work.
I just imagine an alarm that screams "Blaze it."
I should. That'd be funny. It's actually specifically 4:17, and that I've timed that so that I can leave at that time. But that's just so I get to work at like 5 minutes before my shift starts, and then I start the shift at 5 and leave at 1:30.
Military efficiency.
Yeah.
How much sleep do you think you'd get a night when you're in the military, when you're training in the training or stuff like that?
Oh,
In training, I mean,
Just like
they'll
for-
wake you up in the middle of the night if they
What
feel
was
like it.
what was the worst amount like you'd be getting, and what's the best amount you'd be getting? Like, what else?
it
The
depends on what phase of
worst-
training you're in.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
the worst
so-
didn't even happen when I was in training. We stayed up for 2 days.
Mhm.
But that wasn't in training. That was when we were doing hurricane relief stuff.
Oh, was that when you sent me the pictures of like the animals
Yeah.
and the helicopter?
Yeah.
That was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
That was so.
Um,
I just
yeah, that
imagine
was
like,
an interesting time.
loading loads of goats onto a Chinook helicopter just makes me laugh to think.
Yeah. We did help out with the animals a lot. And actually, that was one of the things I was going to mention earlier about like weird manager schedules or so. Like the day that I was sent down to help out with the hurricane relief, I was told, hey, be at the unit at 12. And it was 9 o'clock that morning. I was at work. And I just had to just leave, turn off my lathe that I was working on, and say, hey, I have to go for an indiscriminate amount of time, and I'll see you whenever.
Wait, hang on. Are you still? I don't know if you're still now, but were you when you were working in the factory? Were you still technically in the military?
Yes, for that
So
point in time, yes.
You're not anymore, though, are you?
I'm not in the National Guard anymore.
Okay.
As you can tell by my excessively long and beautiful hair. Yeah. And it's like the reserves and National Guard are a little bit different, but National Guard's more for like state stuff, and I mean they can be activated for actual active duty if they need to be.
But the reserves and the National Guard are both the kind of thing where you have a regular day job and you're out doing stuff in your own personal life in the world, and they go, hey, we need you, and you have to be somewhere 3 hours from now. And they're like, they don't give you a whole lot of fucking
Your job has to hold your place for you.
Yeah. So I mean, that
way
has
worse than being
problem
on
for
call
other
for
people.
Build-A-Bear.
Yeah.
Did anyone know the esports team NRG, because they recently partnered with the National Guard? That made me laugh.
A lot of
They announced on Twitter saying, I need sponsorship to the National Guard, and it was just so weird. Like, every single comment was like, this ain't it, Chief. It's like, I know it's a bit weird, this timing and everything, but like...
So the military actually does a lot of recruiting through esports nowadays because, so like drones literally operate it with Xbox controllers.
Oh, I already know that. I know that.
You get a guy
And,
with optimized movement. They'll be already really good at that.
Because there's just so much digital
I still want it to be a
nowadays
keyboard.
that where do you find optimal people to do these digital excursions? Gamer.
Yeah.
Who's going to type the fastest? Who's going to have the best reaction time when controlling these drones and whatnot? Fucking gamers.
There's a lot of mindset that goes into it too.
I've been saying that since the days of the original PlayStation, that if you just put a PlayStation controller in any gamer's hand, they will fly that drone for you. It's fine. Just give it to them and give them a screen. Let them look at it as if it's a video game. They'll fucking ruin people.
I'd like to think that even in like more physical points, like the mindset of a gamer who's already been in that position of combat 1,000 times can do, like obviously you need to be physically trained, but the mindset is still there. Like you've got like a little warrior going on already, No? That doesn't translate at all. There's no experience whatsoever.
There's an older movie called Toys, starring Robin Williams, and in that movie, one of the things in that movie is a guy who has been recruiting kids to play war games. They don't know that what they're doing is actually running functional real objects in the real world. and they're killing all kinds of people doing that.
It reminds me of a
Like,
an American Dad episode
unknown.
when they pilot this drone thinking it's just a good game, and it's actually their dad's like top secret CIA drone, and they just go like nearly blow up the plane that their family's on, thinking it's just a fucking game.
Because a
They
lot of
don't-
my
they don't.
a lot of my idea was from like paintball, especially where like when we all had our little paintball trips, I was just floored by how like immediately familiar I was with the concept of whatever that situation was, team versus team, gun in hand, duck behind cover, etc. Like, you're telling me gaming gives you no precedent whatsoever? I'm not saying it's a replacement. I'm not saying it's proper training or anything.
I feel like when
You're
in
gonna
a video
snicker
game
at me and
that's
not weigh in? Come on.
when video games don't have consequence,
Not true.
real life
That's
does.
not
That's the big
totally
thing.
true.
Like, there is true. Video games.
You're basically
if you
running
crash games,
simulations
yeah, that's
over
fine.
and over and
That's
over and
fine.
over and
But when
over
you're
and
when
You
you're
can
over.
run a
when you're
simulation all you want.
when you're piloting,
And you're telling me that
$1
doesn't help you
million
at all. Like, there's no
No.
mindset adjustment at
So
all.
a perfect example is I knew this girl. So before we went to the range, they took us to this thing where it was basically like a VR shooting, right? She was super good at it. Like, she hit everything. She was literally the best in our platoon. And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, like she's gonna get sniper, like the ratings and whatnot."
Yeah.
And we got to the range, and she completely fucked it up because
Interesting.
actually shooting a real gun couldn't fucking do it. Couldn't fucking do it between the noise
Yeah.
and the recoil and the head games. She couldn't fucking do
Yeah.
it because it's not the same. When you're firing live fire, it is not the same.
Interesting.
And I mean, it's that sort of thing as well as subjective per person. I mean, you may be good at video games and good at shooting as well. So, I mean, your
Right.
experience with
not
it
one
may
or the
be
other.
completely
It may
different.
translate. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it may translate. There's also there are the point I think Beast was trying to make though is that it does help with teaching you tactics and stuff though.
yeah.
You know, as far as being
But
prepared
you don't
actually
spawn in real
prepared
life.
for
be
what
fair,
may be coming around the corner. You know.
People in chat made that argument too. I'm like, of course you respawn in games. You're running it back over and over. Of course, you care a lot less about your tactic if you don't fear death, but, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, we did kind of
But
do
I mean,
a lot of live fire support.
all kinds of in real life. Yeah, in real life training is still, you know, respawning over and over.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
what I meant.
most of my training for fire
Yeah.
support specialist AIT was in a simulator because 155 rounds are very expensive. But I mean, at that point in time,
Yeah.
though, it did apply. And I mean, that part of it specifically was.
You're telling me that
Like,
simulator isn't my gaming comparison, at least a
But
little
I
bit?
would say, like, I mean, there is some discrepancies.
Yeah.
Holding a gun is different to holding a controller. That's
I did
what-
not say that, okay? That is not what
I
my
mean,
point
you-
was.
Well, then why
Yeah,
you're comparing gaming, which
there
is
are-
a controller
There
for?
are parts. No, Beast is saying that there is parts that translate into the
Yeah,
real world, and
I'm
there are
saying
parts
if
that
you
don't.
grow up as a gamer, especially
yeah,
playing
I
the Call
know
of
there
Duty,
is.
etc., that seed is definitely in your head. You know, I feel like military is not
Yeah.
as much of a transition if you're just going cold. Like, I remember I was watching a thing like
Yeah,
when they would
I'm
recruit
not
people from
situation and
classrooms.
knowing that you should be calling out to your teammates about something.
For
you know,
example, like they used to recruit from classrooms.
taught you something.
I don't remember if it was one of you guys who told the story, if I heard it from somebody else. Might have been a podcast I was watching. I don't remember exactly where I got this, but where like they would try to recruit new recruits during classrooms, explaining to what was going on, etc. But when they actually showed footage of what was going on, there were those select individuals who were like, "Oh, fuck yeah, I want to go do that," you know? And it got a lot more people interested in the idea of it. I feel like
I
that
think-
familiarity has got to be something.
I mean, maybe so. I don't know. I just feel like when you're in your room playing Call of Duty, it's very different to when you're out. You have to take care of yourself. You've got
Did
to take care
not
of other
say it
people.
was the same.
I know.
You're taking me way too literally.
I'm not saying it's not the same. I'm just saying that I don't see. Maybe there is a tiny bit link, but I feel like anyone, even if you're a gamer or anything, you're still gonna be fucking like knocked on your feet. Like most people, if you get sent straight into the military, it's such a different experience. I mean, I've been
What's
in
the
it. I'm
what's the
assuming.
meme with
My overarching
meme with
point
the
was the basic
stormtrooper
idea that, like,
belonging?
I mean-
Like, this is
I mean, I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs. I know what I'm talking about. Like,
My
come on.
basic point was the idea that like recruiting, especially gamers that are within the age range, the 18 to 24 prime for the military age range. I don't know. I feel like your sample pool would be a little bit more prime to go if they're interested in being in the military, rather than someone who's never had any exposure to that whatsoever. Wow. All right. I figured there'd be at least a little.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that some of it translates, but some of it doesn't.
I
That's the
didn't
thing.
say that all of it did.
And it also, and it's also that the way Chriselle said it though is that depends on the person too. It depends on
Because Chriselle and
whether or
Donna
not
are
you have
biting their
some
tongues
form
like
of
there is a
real world.
0% overlap, but I just couldn't believe that.
I'd like to see some studies on it.
I mean, you
but-
yourself said you guys ran simulations in a virtual environment.
Simulations are video games, though. I mean, there's the purpose of training and the purpose of getting a higher KD
Play.
ratio. But yeah,
I wasn't calling it training, by
Yeah.
the way.
No,
It was like
and that
mental.
I fully agree with. Gaming is not the same as simulating an actual real training scenario.
Because when the games aren't meant, they're not trying to. They're just trying to make you have fun. I feel like you're not meant to have fun doing simulations.
They're just giving you fun.
There's a difference between playing
But,
a
I
video
mean,
game and killing fictional people and being trained to take someone's life, and that's not to be taken lightly, like video games are taken lightly. So it's a completely different mindset. So you being like, oh yeah, gamers can just go in there. That's not what you want. It's not what you want.
That's
You
what
do
I was
not
trying
want
to
someone
get.
going in there.
It was an idea thrown in the wind, and you guys
I know
holding
you
your
said to throw it in
tongues.
the wind, but you and Sig and Iron were arguing about it while me and Chriselle were just sitting here staring at each other. So we couldn't throw it to the wind until you guys took a pause.
We've been waiting. I've stopped so many times
We
for you to
have.
jump in.
They have given you many.
I've been
opportunities.
waiting for you to jump in on this.
Well,
I've been
here's us-
effectively asking this whole
opposite.
time, and you've been... There you go. That's what you should have said 4 minutes ago. Like, what have you been making me do here?
The
Yeah,
job to make-
it's literally a question from the start. What did
I
I
know
walk
it's kind of
into?
my
So-
fault
so the-
bringing up the controller thing, but it's not. It's not.
The end result is no, it doesn't translate like you think it might. Some of
I
it
don't know.
may, but not as much as you
I
would
was
hope for.
thinking of a tiny
Yeah.
overlap here. I really wasn't suggesting nearly as much as a lot of people might think I was here. I just felt like that mindset of a warrior might just be sparked in the very few who, Oh, well, hello.
Oh,
visitor.
kitty.
Hi.
Yay.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh, it's the kitty
Oh,
portion.
meow.
Where's Pant? Where's Pant?
He's outside of the room right now. He had his snacks earlier. But
Clark is playing Minecraft. He's not going to come say hi.
Time to end the stream because fists are being thrown. There was no argument, Chris. I posed a question and waited a long time for an answer. Long time.
There's no fist being thrown. We argue about shit all the time.
I've been
me and
passively
me and-
waiting for a
me and
response.
Beast have gotten into like real arguments where I've been like pissed. We were just kind of
Yo, me and
I'm
Sig,
having a
me and Sig have the
just
most fun.
Iron. Wait, I had to explain to Beast that you and I were okay the other day.
Iron's chuckling. Iron's the one
CB's
who
getting
DM'd
fun.
me. I had
Like,
very
DMV,
real.
Okay, at the time, I was pissed. But then I think once I got into the swing of things, when Sig said, "Oh fuck off," that's when I started laughing, and I was having a blast.
I was
He
introduced to the
started to
situation.
realize, oh wait, he's just fucking with me.
Dude, me and Sig's way of communicating is probably like the most unhealthy relationship, but it's fucking hilarious and it's fun to do. Because like as soon as it finished, he was like, "Love you," and I was like, "Love you too, babe," and that was it. And then Tom was like, "You need to see a
We
marriage."
absolutely fucking wrecked each other for a little while there, but no, we're fine.
And then like afterwards, he DM'd me
But
saying, I can't. He said, "There's no point in bringing it to DMs so no one can see. Stand up for yourself," and that was really.
I was introduced
the
to the
whole
situation
point
from
of it was-
scratch, from Iron's very emotionally disrupted perspective.
I was.
So that's why I
pissed.
needed clarification. He
Dude,
wanted me to
was-
talk to
No,
him
I
after
know.
the stream. I'm like, well, that's not
Because
gonna
I was
fucking happen.
pissed. I was so pissed, and then I think once I spoke to Sig, it was like, oh, never mind.
Because this was a stream, by the way, started like 10 hours into my day. So I'm like, Iron, I am passing out the minute the stream is over. So we're going to need to talk about it now. Like, if it's that big of a deal, we're going to need to talk about it right now.
And Beast's effort to find out what happened with me was to say, "Can I get a summary?"
Yeah.
That's what he said to me.
What did you say?
I wouldn't even check in.
Fill me in.
Summary?
What did you say?
Yeah, can I get a summary? That's what he said.
What did you say about
And
it?
I explained to him that you had gotten all mad at some troll because of his name and everything, and then I just gave you a bunch of shit about how you handled the situation.
What is
That was
being
it.
a mortar
And we're
man? That sounds
What?
interesting.
Mortarman
There's a whole role
That's the
specifically
person
for
who-
that.
does mortaring. Yeah,
But there could
I've
be a
called-
I
full-time
don't think they
mortar
just throw
man.
that at anybody, do you?
Oh
That's what I'm
my
saying.
god! I know it. My
That's a
house
lot of
is
training.
shaking from the mortarman training.
Yeah.
Constantly.
That's a full-time role.
A
He can be
lot of
that for
training.
6 years.
Yeah, someone.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I always
I've
I
called
always
for
assumed that would be like just a guy that fills in.
So especially like
No?
the bigger
No.
weapons, they're specialists for each one of those. You don't just throw just anybody on the mortar.
Yeah.
Like in a case of emergency, yeah, you might.
Sounds really complicated though. There's a lot of
But still,
trigonometry. I
especially
bet.
like the mortar. Yes, exactly. Especially the mortar, you have to know. It's not like even like a gun. You need training,
It's
right?
gonna be
You
harder
don't
than a
just
sniper.
aim it. You gotta know the
Yeah.
fall pattern and whatnot. Yeah. Go.
If I,
I-
Let- let
Imagine-
Michelle talk.
Imagine a guy throwing a grenade. Now imagine a much bigger grenade being thrown much, much farther. The precision with
Michelle
which you
talk.
have to throw it is important.
This is my exact MOS is
Right.
directing the fire for mortar rounds, artillery rounds, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I was on the side of the thing that said, "Hey, shoot there," and then that goes back to a thing called a fire direction center, which translates it for the actual mortarmen, the
Put close
howitzers,
counts
whatever
behind
was
it.
there, and yeah, I mean that it's like a kind of little triangle of from the actual fire direction center to the mortarmen or whoever's shooting the actual round, and then the people that are directing the fire.
And you got
And I was on the side directing the fire, so
and you got wind and atmospheric.
Yeah.
also,
yeah,
can I
it's all
say-
calculated from the
I've
fire
s-
direction
I've
center.
seen
It's
videos of
fairly
like
interesting.
I've seen videos of like teams like in like using an artillery, and it looks like a fucking little machine. They all know what they're doing. Like each person has like a little job they have to do, and they all have to do it in like synchronized order. It looks so fucking.
I watched
cool.
that YouTube video of a guy. They were trying to hit a mortar with his truck, and it had insanely high dislikes because they did hit his truck with a mortar. They didn't pack it with any explosives, so everybody came for an explosion, and it was just a piece of metal going thoof,
Oh,
tink. We're like, what the fuck? But the interesting part was that tink probably took them 24 tries. It was not that far away. They could not hit that truck to save their life with that mortar.
It's very hard to hit a target accurately because I mean, with one of those, with what we did a lot of was 155 rounds, which I mean, those have an effective range of 1,000 meters.
It would
and
have to with how hard it must be to hit.
It's yeah. I got to blow up a tank once, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh shit! Like
I was-
actually,
Yes. I mean, it was an old, like, rusted out tank that was out of service, of course. That's why we were blowing it up in the first place. But yeah, I actually hit it and destroyed the target, and it was so fun.
how do you do
But-
shit like that and not record it? I mean,
A 155
We weren't allowed
round
to. We never.
Oh.
Yeah, I would
is
assume you're not allowed
about
to.
95 pounds.
Yeah.
that sounds
Oh,
like a
oh, so-
waste.
Mhm.
Not something
So
you'd
it
want
weighs
to
as
record.
much as I weighed when I was active duty and skinny.
Yeah.
Like, well, we
I
got
have
an
a
old tank that's not really in use anymore. So here's how much does one of those cost? One of those shells?
Oh,
They're expensive. I don't
Here's-
know how much. But
You know,
they're
$2,000 of taxpayer money going thoof.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
know,
have
I-
2 grand.
I know that one. I know
Probably
one, I
not
know
something
one
you'd want to
javelin- I know
record.
that one javelin rocket costs around 80,000. I think like a javelin rocket. I'm pretty sure count costs
Well,
one shot, and it's
Yeah.
like there was like a video of these like fucking. He must have been like in his early 20s, or like 19 years old, like firing it, like all laughing, and he was like, "Did you hit it?" And it was like, "You fucking better. That's $80,000 you just shot. You just."
That
fired it."
was always the thing. Like,
You mean
I mean,
7
we didn't
kills.
have the option to miss. And
Yeah.
the one time that the fire direction center, the guys that were calculating trajectories and all that, they actually missed a 0 on one thing, and we had a round land like about 500 meters away from us. We were deaf for like a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after that. Well, I mean, we were wearing our helmets the entire time, eye protection, ear protection, the entire time we were out in the field. I mean, we couldn't hear for that day, but yeah, it was bad.
Couldn't hear for a day.
And that right there specifically is the reason that you can be a mortarman as a full-on job, and that's all you do.
Talk about getting your bell rung.
It's because you don't want shit like that to happen.
With that specific situation, like if you mess up that badly, there's people getting fired, and
there's investigations. There's
serious.
leadership getting moved.
Especially in training too.
Speaking on Twitch is saying I was artillery. You were a 13B, 13D field agent.
Bravo.
13D field agent, that always just follows in my brain. 13D field artillery automated tactical data system specialists. Hopefully that means something to you.
I never get on a bit.
It
I
does.
asked one more question to Chriselle and Rose. I don't know if anyone know the answer to it.
People go to jail for that.
I've seen videos of soldiers who stick like fucking cameras on their helmet. What are the rules? Do you know the rules on that? Are you just allowed to stick a camera on your helmet and do whatever you want with the footage, or is it like
it depends on your command, and it depends on the combat situation.
Yeah, if it's like just a casual, maybe like patrol, or maybe
So
it's like
there is an MOS literally called combat camera, and they are attached to combat units, and their entire purpose is to take footage for the military.
Yeah.
And so they're allowed, but then it's scrubbed to see what is allowed to go out and what's not.
There were certain things that we worked with, saw, and trained with that like we couldn't have our cameras or anything like that on us, and we were even like searched to make sure we didn't. So we didn't. I mean, even with that, we had a secret security clearance at the time, and they still were taking those precautions to make sure. But yeah, I mean, there's some sensitive stuff in there. So
I was gonna say.
There's certain offices that my husband goes into and he cannot take his phone with him. So he'll like text me and be like, all right, you won't be able to reach me for a couple hours. If you need anything, call this guy. Like,
yeah. And my security clearance expired now. So it
Michelle,
lasts
do you
for
have Twitch open?
Was that Twitch?
Yeah.
Yes.
At least one of you should be monitoring that.
Yeah. Michelle, my husband has a TS. So
TS? Yeah.
top secret.
Okay. That's
fun.
Yeah.
What does that entail? Literally couldn't tell you if I knew.
It means you do a thorough background check on him and me.
My dad had deals like that. Because he's just a salesman for battery backup systems, but the military was one of their clients, and he just was so thrilled to not be able to tell us anything. And I was like, oh, okay.
You know, it really helps my husband how forgetful I am, so I couldn't tell you what he did even if he told me.
Not like any of what my dad would have had to say would have been interesting, I'm sure. Like, battery backups, like...
I mean, I bet if it was interesting to him... Come on.
Yeah,
I bet he was loving life, dude.
It's not about the battery backups or what they were purchasing or any of that. It's about the things he may have seen when he went into their facilities for any reason.
If he did that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking, is like the actual specifications of the batteries can tell a lot about what they're powering, and there's just absolutely no word about that the military needs anybody hearing that isn't absolutely necessary. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, actually.
Guys, we've gone over by about a half hour.
Oh, have we?
Go us.
Yeah. And I'm being waved at, so yeah.
And
I
just
gotta
so
call.
all of chat knows, even
Sorry,
though we've had lots of arguments in this stream, we're still friends and we will still
love each other.
Adults can
Great.
disagree and not be mad at each other.
That's true.
That's a whole thing
Nope.
about maturity.
Nope. I'm mad. I'm just mad. I'm gonna be mad. Nope.
I can get crazy eyes and yell at you, but I still love you.
Things like, you know what, Beast, I've been okay with you this whole time, but that just did me in.
That was
That was the final straw.
It's over.
To even assume that I'm an adult.
But no, I really do have to go, guys.
Sorry,
I will,
I won't be ripping my wig off. This one's glued down.
All right.
I will definitely let you know how things go next week as far as whether or not I'm feeling any better. So
Minerva
Hope you do.
Podcast episode 30. Bye, everybody.
Bye, chat.
Bye.